government will work, will go back to work. Si Management of the Dead po, si mga funeral parlors, cemeteries, and crematorium, memorial homes and chapels will be allowed to operate. Pero po, si suggestion ta po sa Naga, tawanan tananing clearer guidelines na to limit ito pong wake within the memorial homes and chapels to 3 days, and it be limited only to immediate family members. Other manufacturing like electronics and exports, si e-commerce po and delivery of essential and non-essential items. So postal and parcel service may again, dahil man po niya napundo, so continuous po ang operation. Si online stores po and delivery service providers padagos po na ma-operate. Ini po si pigtutugutan ng 50% to 100% operation. Si mga yaon po sa repair and maintenance services such as hardwares, car repair, car wash, vulcanizing shops. Housing and office services, financial services such as banks, ATM service, money transfer, or money changing and pawn shops. Money lending shops will be allowed to open. Business process outsourcing, BPO industry po, dahil man po nipig pundo kang ECQ. Although po igwang mga BPOs na nag-self police, no, nag-self-contain. So dai na po sila nag-operate fully. Pero nganyan tutugutan sila to operate 100%. Other non-leisure wholesale and retail, so Campig research niyo po si term, nagluluwas si mga department store ini, clothing stores, mga boutiques, pwede na giraray mag-operate. Other non-leisure services such as laundry shops, security services, mobile phone, loading stations. By the way po, before I continue, igwa pong caveat ang satuya pong IATF. While tinutugutan po ining mga industriya na ini na mag-operate, comes May 1, kung dahil po kita maaprobahan katong extension, or let's say po matapos, granting po tawanan kita ng extension sa May 1 to May 15, so we need to embrace GCQ on May 16. Nagluluwas po digdi na dahil man giraray basang makaka-operate ang mga industries na ini if they will not follow the minimum health standards that has been set by the IATF. So ini po si mga no ini po ma'am si tinutugutan, depende na po sa tuya, kung babasaran ta po si AITF, pwedeng mag-operate si kabanga, pwede pong mag-full operation na sinda. So sa tuya po, sa Naga, kung hihilingon ta po ini, given our situation, tinatao ta po ma'am sa mga industries na ini, si option to fully operate or 50% operate. In between that, they can operate. Sa inda pong decision. Kasi dati po kaya ma'am, hardware talagang totally, they pwede magbukas under the AITF. So ngunyan po, kung ang industries na iyan, ang car wash, ang car repair, they po yan pigdugutan under the ECQ. Pero po ngunyan, kung muyan nila mag-operate, they can operate 50% or 100%. So, pigatawanan pong option si mga industries na yan to operate. Even po si mga bangko, may mga bangko po kita na nag-shorten kan sa inda pong service. May iba pong mga 9 o'clock to 1 o'clock lang. So, ngunyan po, pigre-recommend na they can even fully operate si regular nindang operation as financial institutions. So ini po si maluwas talagang mayong operasyon during GCQ. So gabos pong eskwelahan except online learning. Pero pigihiling na ang burokasan po kang klase sa basic education, si sako po kang DepEd will be on September. Pero po piguurulayan po sa sagkod ngunyan, ninhuli po tayo po pala ning law, may Republic Act na nagsiset kang karalasihan kang school calendar kang Pilipinas. So, nasa pag-urulay pa po yan. Bawal din po ang leisure, amusement, gaming, and fitness center. Kan subanggi po, nakabasa po kita ni mga news articles na sagkod po ngunyan, under deliberation pa kang IATF, ang spas, parlors, barbershops, considering po na mababiolate si physical distancing policy should these industries be allowed to operate. Dahil pa po, pero po, baad po mag-set po sinda ning minimum health standards kung paano po ni makakabalik. Kasi po may mga paagi man kaya lang baad po mas maging magastos na maray sa mga industries na ini because they will probably be required to do services using PPEs. So yan. Ay po, maluwas po ma'am, bawal pa din po sinda to operate. Dahil po pwede magbenta. They should be closed. Gym, fitness centers, computer shops, arcades, billiard halls, cockpits, liquor stores. Yan po. Si kid industries po, still closed. Play areas, playgrounds, arcades, and toy shops. Kaya po magiging challenge din po sa tuya sa mga aki. Dahil po mas prolonged si mga aki na matinira sa harong, magiging parte po din siya katong pigigibo po kang viral na Sir Willie na presentation kung paano din po si pag-actuar ta duman sa mga psychosocial interventions for our various sectors. Si tourism industry po, still tatamaan pa, bawal pa din po mag-operate ang mga hotels as in resorts, except ito pong mga igwangunya ng continuing long-term residency services. So yan po. All gatherings po, religious, conferences, parties, are still prohibited under the GCQ. So given this policy po by the AITF, baad po saron din po para po makatabang sa COVID response, si funding po for government-sponsored events, baka po isurrender na for COVID response and to assist to aid our economic stimulus. Part din po siya kang kaugmahan kan opisina. Pero actually po mas mapagal pala ini yung COVID kaysa kang igwakit ang okasyon sana. Prolonged. Construction activities po, kung dati po sa ECQ talagang bawal, ngunyan po tutugutan na. Pero po ini will be limited to government projects and emergency home and building repairs. Dahil po tinugutan na din po nga si hardware to operate. But these activities, construction activities, repairing to repairs, construction activities will be subject to the minimum health standards. Kung madagos po kayo dapat po may physical distancing man giraray. Then, ang pinaka dinagdag po didi kang IATF is si mapatrabaho po should provide barracks for their workers. So kayo po na po mag-provide. Dahil po dapat pa uli-ulion ang sa inda pang mga workers. Pero po para mas ma-secure ta po ini sa local level, the barracks po for workers is ito pong must stay talaga. Itong panghaluyan na project. Stay in po talaga siya. Pero itong halimbawa pag emergency nagpakariman lang po ning plumbing kuyen kan sa imong harong. Day man. Pero po kung mapatugdok po ning harong, day po siya kabali digdi. Dahil po ang tinutugutan lang po sa construction are government projects, construction po of other buildings, day pa po siya, nagluluwas po, day pa kabali. So, limited to repairs only. Meaning, existing si building, may naraot, kaya po lang i-repair. So, yan po. So, para po ma-share-tuta po da iniyo, ang pinopropose po, mag-secure ng clearance sa City Engineer's Office. Si mga naumnambitan ta pong establishmento, yun na po ni sipig sasabing minimum health standards na suggested din ni IATF. Makaka-operate sana po sinda. So starting po May 1, simuya pong mag-operate under the GCQ should strictly implement the minimum health standards. Number one po is mandatory checking of temperature of all the clients and employees. Mandatory wearing of mask. Igwa na po kitang ordinance kayan sa Naga. Mandatory disinfection of using alcohol or alcohol-based sanitizers of all clients and employees. They should also limit the number of people inside and outside the establishments. Ini po, bako lang po dapat da sa laog, kundi sa luwas. Sa baad ngaya sa laog, nakapirila, sa luwas, nagkukuruno-kuno manggiraray. So, physical distancing must be implemented within and without the establishments. So, para po, sa tuya man po sa Naga, para po fully ma-implement ini, we are recommending na to ensure physical distancing, magbugtak na po ni mga distance markers ang sa to pa mga establishments, even us in City Hall. Replace benches with single chairs arranged at 2 meters away from each other. May na po itong mga common bench para po maiwasan na si pag taraid-taid kan mga tao. Then, part po kang recommendation is the disabling of Wi-Fi facilities, free Wi-Fi facilities, doon po sa mga, especially sa malls, sa mga areas, to discourage people from staying with sa mga facilities na iyan. Ang mga air-conditioned establishment din po, such as banks, malls, shops, must keep the temperature at 26 degrees. Dahil po dapat siya maliputon, tangari po daang iwas tambay sa mga tao sa laog. So, sa to po sa Naga, dahil po pigtutugutan manggiraray kita kang IATF, ang mga local governments to implement our respective general curfew ordinances. So, nagluluwas po sa Naga, ninhuli po ta sa Naga, ang sa tong curfew 8 to 5. 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. Nagluluwas po na mga establishments may open from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. Dahil din po madagdag kita ng mga tao na matutugutan magluwas o ito mga APOR, authorized persons outside residences. So all people, all employees of industries that will operate during the GCQ must bring with them their respective identification cards and work schedule. Para po just in case for random inspection, maano po makuyang kan sa to mga law enforcers. Matao na ning passage. So, who may go out during the GCQ? Actually po nagluluwas na ang GCQ mas stricto pa sa ECQ based on the IATF restriction. While the general population will be allowed to go out of their respective homes for the purpose of accessing basic necessities. Very clear po na tusugo kita kang IATF that in any case, the following shall remain at home. Those with ages below 21 years old, so meaning that 0 to 20 will remain at home. Those 60 years old and above should remain at home. Those with ages ranging from 21 years old to 59 years old, but residing with persons with comorbidities or other risk factors, they din po pwedeng paluwason. Next slide po yan. So, ang kay puwanta lang po sigurong simbagan is, given this restriction, recommendation from the IATF is, given this restriction, will we allow people who are 18 to 21 or 18 to 20 who are workers? Kasi po pagtutugutan tayo din ng mga industries mag-operate. So, will they be allowed also to work? Will they be allowed to go out to, or will they be exempted with this restriction? How about those people who are 60 to 65 but not yet retired? Working in government, in private sectors, are we going to restrict them from going out of their homes given this restriction? So ini po si Kaipuan sigurong i-feel na gap doon po sa recommendation kang IATF. So iyan po si Kaipuan pong i-contend. Apa. Ay pa. So, Okay. So yan po. Bago po siguro ini yung suggestion me for this restriction, baka po may maghapot, taano po si young sector day pwede magluwas? Taano po ta si 60 above day pwede magluwas? Base po sa pag-adal kang American Academy of Pediatrics sa 2000 na aki duda may po yung pigkuanan kang IATF duman sa kaso sa China. Ini po ang mga edad na ini na 0 to 20 years old are those 90% of them are asymptomatic pag tinatamaan. Gusto sabihin, sinda asi mga social people, mahiro sinda. So kung umuli sinda sa harong, carrier sinda, in fact they are considered super spreaders. Mayo man sindang namamati pero carrier pa lang sinda ning virus.
Pero may question, ano ta Chinese na naman na sila ang darat ng
Si pig-adalan sir kang kang American Academy of Pediatrics. Yan. Yan. Sige po. Sa madali pong pagtaram, those 60 years old, pregnant, immunocompromised, part sa kang vulnerable sector, therefore, should stay at home based on the recommendation because they are the segment of the population with significantly higher chance of developing serious complication. The group, although this is, the term used was, the group is may general tendency to be more frail and or have other long-term health problems. So, yan po si... So, how are we going po to implement this? The suggestion ni po is to properly implement the movement restrictions. Still, we will be continuously implementing our community quarantine leave passes. People may still go out dahil po tinutugutan man to buy essential goods. Pero po maluwas ka iniyo na para po mas makontrol ta, kung isa lang po talaga ang may quarantine leave pass, iyo lang po talaga ang pwedeng magbakal. So, dapat po sasabihan ta naman ng mga establishments na dahil nindo pagtugutan kung mayo ning queue passes. Now, dahil po pigtugutan naman kang sa tuyang IITF na general public, pwede magluwas, pwede ta naman pong tugutan ang transferability kang queue passes. So baad po, Monday, ang pwede magluwas si ama, Wednesday, pwede naman magluwas si ina. Dahil po, general public na din si tigtutugutan. However, they po pwedeng i-transfer ang leave passes duman sa mga, ang edad, 21 years old to 29, dahil siya pwedeng ipasa duman sa 0 to 20, dahil din siya pwedeng ipasa duman sa 60 years old and above. So, pwede po siyang ipasa sa any person na 21 years old to 59 years old provided na mayo siyang kaibanan na comorbidity sa indang harong, dahil din badus si papasahan, dahil din immunocompromised si papasahan. Sunod po. So, yan po. As to restriction po, tinutugutan po kita kang IATF to continuously enforce our General Curfew Ordinance. So, si Ordinance number 2020-028 po will be implemented by our Security Task Force. Igwalang po ning concern duman sa authorized persons outside residences. While we will continuously respect the IATF's APORs, authorized persons outside residences, pero kung hali po sinda sa lugar na igwang COVID cases, they shall be subjected to the 14-day quarantine at our city-controlled quarantine facilities. Transportation. Under the GCQ po, pigtutugutan na po ang public transportation, pero they may only operate at a reduced capacity in accordance with the guidelines as may be issued by the DOTR. But unfortunately po, we have yet to receive a guidelines coming from the DOTR. But nonetheless po, in anticipation, nag-drop lang po kami katong recommendation. Dahil po gradual lang ang pagtugot pagbalik kang public transportation, we recommend po that for the first week, we only limit public transportation to pajaks, trimobiles, and taxis. For the second week, we may allow the jeepneys. Ano po? Kasi po si jeepneys, based on the utterance of Secretary Anyo, dahil siya po pwedeng basta tugutan lang dahil si sa iya pong pagkataman nyo is not suited for infection containment. So kaypuhan muna pong gibuhan ning i-redesign itong laog kang jeep para po dai makahawa sa iba. So part din po 'yan sa pigpapadesign ta po duman sa IMT. Dahil po so saro po sa pig-iisip is si taxis po ini po, by the way, pig-arobi po ini sa pattern kang Davao dahil po pigtutugutan duman ang public transport. So ang taxis po may operate with one driver, one passenger in front, and one at the back. So maximum po of 3 sa laog kang taxi. Observing physical distancing and of course with the use of mask. Pajaks and tricycle may only operate with one driver and one passenger. Jeepneys must have plastic separators and alternating seat assignments. We are also po recommending number coding for PUVs. For those with plate numbers, this is for jeepneys and taxi drivers, ending in even numbers, be allowed to operate MWF. Those ending in odd numbers be allowed TTHS. But considering po that tricycles, pajaks will only be entertaining one passenger, we may want to consider po, we highly suggest that we pass a special matrix, special fare matrix for pajak and trimobiles, especially po during the GCQ. Kasi po saro naman lang po talaga ang pwede niyang isakay.
Alan, pwede na bang maghahapot habang nagpipresent ka? Para
yes,
dahil ta nababalikan.
Yes po, ma'am.
O anong reason duman sa coding kang jeepney kung ma-comply man sinda duman sa mga plastic separators? Kasi kung dikitong kaya ang nagpa-apply, tapos mga establishments, for example, nag-open 100%. Kasi may option sinda, di ba? So baka lalo masurok-sukan lugot ta, dikiton ang jeepney.
Yes, ma'am. Ang rationale po, ma'am, is dikit pa man lang po ang makakapuon mag-operate. In fact po, our schools are still closed. So i-allow ta pa man lang po is basically po si number of people na yaon sa ECQ, baka po madagdagan lang siya by a certain number of 15%. Dahil po continuously naman nag-ooperate.
Pero kita kaya kayo na nagpo-project. Why don't we let the transport sector project it? Tano tama color coding kita kasi kung nahihiling nindang dai man talaga kaipuan gabos sinda ma-operate, di yan ma-operate. Basta nagko-comply sinda kadtong may plastic separators. 'Di ba?
Po, ang rationale lang po, ma'am, is dahil po nga ni tatawanan lang po kita. Although po this will still be subjected to the DOTR guidelines. Kasi po as we have said po, dahil pa man nagluluwas si DOTR talaga ning guidelines.
Kung mayong guideline, dahil pa yan pwede. Dahil pa kita pwedeng magtugot kang mga jeepney, tricycle, pajak. Dahil pa?
Nagluluwas, ma'am, pwede na po kita magtugot. Kaya lang po, we, of course, ini po, for purposes lang po of our discussion, ini po si mga recommendation. Pero po kung if we see fit that jeepneys may be allowed to operate on the first week of the GCQ, then garo ma'am, si ideya lang po kaniyo is para po dahil lang mabigla si Satuya pong law enforcement. Si realities din po kaya ma'am kang operations, kang IMT. Our people are focused on the border controls, internal security. Kung bigla pong magruso ang public transport, bigla ta pong tugutan itong number of people na dahil po nakaprepare ang satuyang law enforcement.
Data ma-monitor.
Data po ma-monitor and baka po yun na si maging cause kang failure din po kan satuyang pag-control. Apa.
On the assumption na yaong kita sa general quarantine and also the whole of the province of Camarines Sur, ano ang magiging intertown transport? Can one from Naga transport, I go to any place within Camarines Sur at any time or ano?
Apo.
Ano ang ano kayan?
Actually po, sa last part, sa security and border control po, nagluluwas na we will still be implementing our strict border control. Dahil po may pong clear-cut na guidelines pa ang DOTR about interboundary transportation, nagluluwas po na itong transportation na pinagtutugot sa GCQ is only within the territorial jurisdiction of the respective LGUs. Therefore, si public transport po is limited. So, kung Naga po, sinaga man lang ang maka-operate within the city. May pa pong cross-boundary. So, baka po, ang pinaka, kuyan po kayan, bakit po ihatod lang sa boundary. So, we really need to coordinate with the Metro Naga MNDC structure kung ano po magiging system. So, ini po si mga gaps pang to be filled. Ano po magiging relation katong paghatod ng pasahero, most probably po, alimbawa, empleyado kang sarong department store, nag-i-star niya sa Calabanga, paano siya makakalaog sa Naga? So, ini po si kaipuhan pang i-fill na gap. Given po na ang position tapangunyan is si strict border control pa din. So, no inter-town transport. Or do we need to design a transport scheme na si mga empleyado po talagang malaog sa Naga, kumbaga, kargado lang ba siya, pwede siyang palaugon, sa'yo po siya pwede magbaba, sa'yo siya pwedeng pick upon. So, yan po siguro si kaipuhan consider. O yan po sa private transport, sa private transportation po, still, kung babasaran ta po si IATF, ang motor, saka po ang bisikleta, tutugutan man po giraray, pero po dapat bayang back ride. Ay po. Si AUVs po and SUVs, by the way po, ini pong part na ini pong sa AUVs, vans, ini po inarog taman lang po ini duman sa Davao experience. Tas hinda po, igwang pagtugot na ginibo sa kumbaga po dahil pa man po iniyo dahil po sinda maski po sinda naka GCQ nag-ECQ nag-ooperate po ang sa indang private transport. So kumbaga po ini po si yaon available na pwede tang arugan. So sa AUVs po halos pareho man sa taxi. So saro sa inutan, driver saro sa inutan, saro sa likod. Sa van po, maluwas garo apat, saro sa inutan, saro sa atubangan, si pag-ultanan po duman sa taxi, sa van, so pwede pong tigsaro na magtukaw. So maluwas po apat. Pero of course, this recommendation as regard transportation is subject to the DOTR guidelines. Unfortunately po, until now, may ipakitang nare-receive. Kaya lang po, nag-a-anticipate lang po kita na just in case talagang Mayo, we have to at least have a ready guidelines for our local implementation. Opo, actually po, ngunyan ma'am, nagluluwas na, dahi ka na po talaga pwede magluwas. Dahi ka po pwede, sa tuya po sa Naga, required po baga na may mask. Basta po nagluwas ka sa public space, you are required to wear a mask. So, nagsakay ka sa auto mo, nagluwas ka, we should be wearing our face mask.
Opo, subago Sir Allen na those who will be coming from Manila or those LGUs with COVID cases are required to quarantine themselves sa facility kang Naga, sa Pacol or kung saan. Ang question po, the question is, gabos ba ipoprovide kang LGU duman sa quarantine facility?
Again po, kasi po, padlao kita sa GCQ. Ini po, parte pa po ini sa mga gaps na kaipuhan, pag-urulayan, kan mga decision makers na po, kan sanggunian, kan IMT. Dahil po, bako pong suba-suba ang cost na iyan, kung number one, si pag-maintain kayan pa lang po kang sa tuyang quarantine facilities is costing us so much.
And then-
We're feeding them 3 times a day.
Yeah.
So, parte po kang dapat po talagang i-consider.
And perhaps another thing we should consider is kaya ba kang LGU kung sakali kadakol maguli from Manila? Kasi
Day pa
kadakol po ever since nagko-contact sa ko na
Dahil pa man
stranded
sinda tutugutan.
na maglaog.
Tayaon pa sinda sa ECQ.
Oo.
Dahil pa sinda pwede magluwas sa Manila. In the same manner na, please correct me, ano? In the same manner na ang taga-Albay, dahil pwedeng basang magiging sa tuya.
So ano po
Because
sinasabi
They're
na
not yet under whatever, ano, kundi itong
Hindi ko
original na...
Apo. There was I understand the statement of the Honorable Perez. Kaya lang nabanggit mo kaya that kung mahaling Naga ay mahaling Manila to Naga, i-quarantine. So
Sir-
I was presuming na may mga maarabot haling
Sir,
Manila.
I was referring po to APORs, not to the general public. This is authorized persons outside residences because the assumption is that people are still not allowed to go back to their respective communities during this time. Ang may pre-movement pa lang po ngunyan as of ECQ and GCQ are the authorized persons outside residences. So we are referring to law enforcers, we are referring to healthcare workers, but those people, as stated na po by Councilor Joe, those people who wish to go back, magbalik probinsya, yaan pa po ngunyan sa table kang IITF kung paano po ninda to i-handle. In fact po, there are meetings na pigpapublish man po sa news articles, part kan mga press briefing kan IATF na itong Balik Probinsya program, piglalatag pa lang po nindang yan. But as of today po, si APOR po ang in-focus as to the 14-day quarantine sa Satupong City Controlled Facility. But you are correct, Councilor, na we need also to prepare ourselves just in case that the Balik Probinsya program of the national government be applied in the coming weeks or the coming months. Lalo na po kung nagbaba na kita duman sa inaapod na nagbaraba na po si mga low risk classification, nagbaba na po sa low risk classification ito pong mga areas na may mga COVID man sa presente.
So as of now, day pa talaga pwede magpalaog digi sa Naga. We are waiting for the sabi mo po nilalatag pa.
Iya po. Apo. Sa ngunyan po, we maintain our strict border control.
If we are maintaining our strict border control hanggang April 30 tabi iyan. Hanggang April 30 dahil di pa man effective sa mga GCQ sa other towns.
Yes, sir.
Pero
We are still under ECQ po.
Pag nag-GCQ na si Milaor, Minalabak, Pili, Kanaman, how do we handle them na kamarinisor nga niya pwede na bagang mag-barabaralyo kami. ECQ ang Naga, therefore, di pa pwedeng magpalaog. Kung ECQ pa kita ma-approvean kita by May 1, alaga GCQ si palibot na towns, how do we handle movements of people from other municipalities?
Yes, sir. Our position, sir, in the IMT is regardless if it's ECQ or GCQ, we will maintain our strict border control.
Nobody gets into Naga.
Yes, sir. Igwa lang pong except for those authorized. which is upwards, authorized persons outside residences. We will be maintaining po our, the position of the IMT is we maintain our practice na ito pong, may mga tinaon naman po kita sa mga respective LGUs ning border passes. So, i-implementa din po ito padagos. Kasi po ito man si mamintain kan sa indang supply chain sa laog ka mga munisipyo. Pwede pong magsaod sa tuya sa indang mga wholesalers. Tangarik pong mamintain maninda si supply ninda sa laog. Sa ngunyan po sir, si position po ang IMT is still our border control will remain the same po. Unless, of course, unless the IATF tells us otherwise.
Ano tabi? Ano tabi ng ano?
Sir, igo po duman sa recommendation na kumbaga self-explanatory on our part. Igo pong kaipuhan na locally i-fill po si gap. So ito pong mga pula, ito po si mga pinifill tanggap. Si mga recommendation. Ini po recommendation ini kang IATF that until now is subject to the President's approval. Kaya lang po kita, nag-anticipate na din po kita sa local. Kasi po, habot na po magabot sa point na nakukubanan kita sa mga bagong guidelines kang National Interagency Task Group. So, kita man po, para po prepared din sa tuya pong mga local enforcers, healthcare facilities, healthcare workers, nag-anticipate na po kita na dahil po, iyon man ini ang pinaluwas hindangon yan, ini po ngunyan ang available resource ta, nagpaplano na po kita based duman sa pinaluwas na po nindang guidelines. Apo, yaw na po kitintin, Madam Chair.
Question po for the IMT kasi we have OFWs po, di ba, returning to our city. With respect po duman sa Bayanihan to Heal as One Act, ano pong practice na, Sir Allen? Kasi I've watched, kasi the ABS-CBN po news, March or April 27 siya, or March 27, yes, for. Ano po, ning tiga ano baga po na mag-uli sinda sa mga homes sinda, duman sinda mag-observe ning self-quarantine. And ang mga LGUs po is also reminded na i-contain ini yung mga OFWs ta. So what is our practice po, and are we violating the may bagong ang national government with regard to social distancing or self-quarantine po?
The position po of the IMT as we are practicing today is regardless of your personality. Pag hali ka po sa Metro Manila, hali ka po sa COVID areas, you will need to undergo 14-day quarantine in our city controlled facility. So yan po ang position kang IMT. So igo po kita mga OFW sa nag-uruli po ngunyan, they are now with our quarantine facilities. Ini po sa pagprotehir taman sa tuya pong syudad, sa tuya pong mga taga-Naga.
Sige po. Follow up na lang po. April 27 po pala itong news article. By the way, are they present, ang piglalaban po kaya ninda, igwasindang certification from a certain authorized agency po na sinda, they should observe self-quarantine in their homes. So, are they presenting something po to the CTIMT?
During our IMT meeting po, our Migrant Resource Center head, Mr. Nonoy Reforzado, was able to communicate to the Overseas Workers Welfare Administration, OWA, the position of the city that we require OFWs returning home to the city that they should undergo the 14-day quarantine. And that position of the IMT, that position of the city, was respected by OWA. Ma'am?
Question lang siguro, Allen. Earlier, you mentioned, if I heard you correctly, ang pwede lang maglaog sa to, ang pwede lang tanggapon, ay itong AOR.
Upper po, ma'am.
APOR, APOR, authorized persons outside of their residence. So, APOR. Ano ang basis for saying na APOR sinda?
Ma'am, there was an IATF resolution specifying all persons that may go out of their residences. So kung ano po si
Pwede yaon ba dyan?
they ko po ma'am na prepare, pero po I can give you po
Yes.
the updated copy
Okay.
as
So,
of
they may-
April 21
Yes,
of
they
all
may
the
go
appors.
out of their residence, but they can they enter another jurisdiction?
Yes, ma'am. Provided po, ma'am, let me be clear that the uppers may only be allowed to go out of the residences kung may duty po sinda. If you are a police officer na dai ka man po naka-duty, one cannot, or kami po, IMT, if we are not on duty, we cannot represent ourselves na apor po kami kung bako po kami on duty. So, hindi po pagkaklaro na ang apor po is for those people na on duty.
Okay.
Ah,
So can you give an example duman sa APOR na taga ibang lugar siya, APOR siya duman, may APOR siya duman no, sa lugar niya na makaka-enter digdi. Ano ang papahiling niya? For example,
ang example po ma'am is the IMT of Camarines Sur.
okay yan, kasi IMT, di ba?
Apo.
Duman sa mga bako, kasi IMT very
Upper ma'am is, say for example ma'am, healthcare workers,
Okay.
nurses of BMC. There are healthcare workers from
Okay.
Calabanga,
Healthcare
Bombon,
workers.
Pili, working in the BMC.
Okay.
Sinda po, ang inahagad ta lang po sinda, ID, na sinda po empleyado kang Bicol Medical Center, kang mga hospital po sa Naga. Pinapalaog ta po sinda sa jurisdiction po kang Naga. Si mga police na ma-duty po sa Tuya, na nag-i-star po sa Pili, nag-i-star sa... Although, ngunyan po, we're thankful that most of our agencies, partner agencies in the IMT, nagpo-provide na po ni mga barak sa sainda pong mga agency personnel. So ito po si mga example.
Halimbawa, Allen, pareho ta, igwa kitang APOR ngaya kita kasi mabakal kita kadtong basic necessity ta. So syempre APOR kita duman sa munisipyo ta, mabakal kita. Pwede ka bang magbakal kang basic necessity mo in another jurisdiction?
Basically po ma'am, dae. Unless ma'am, unless you are an LGU official with a mission order, travel order, that you are being authorized by your LGU to procure, not for yourself, but for your LGU or for your constituents, supplies. So iyan po, actually ma'am, iyan po ang practice ngunyan sa mga medicines. Ang San Fernando, ang Milaor, ang ginigibo na po ngunyan, igwa na sindaning, igwa na po sindang inaapod na errands desk. Kung sain po, si may mga problema sa bulong, papakisuyo na po iyan sa sainda pong mga LGUs. Sinda na po ang nagbabakal sa Naga. So nalilimita po si movement katong naglalaog po sa syudad. Ini po pagpaintindi din sa mga MNDC member LGUs na ang paggibot sa GCQ po ma'am, the position ma'am of the city of the IMT, of the IMT is we maintain our border control, the present border control policy. Dahil po kung babasaran po si IATF, ito po mas on the relax implementation kang quarantine within the territorial jurisdiction. Kung babasaran ta po si IATF, dahil man po sinasabing igwana ng interborder, kumbaga po, piglilimit mi lang po kaya si interpretation, ma'am, duman sa AITF na referring to territorial jurisdiction. So kung ang teritoryo ta nagsasabing i-relax, di i-relax na po. Pero ito pong dahil ang transportation po nga ni dai pa clear, lalo na po actually po mas ma-fall po ini sa transportation. Dahil po dai pa din clear ang inter-border transport, ang position po kang IMT is strict border control pa din po kita.
Sa itaas.
Yes, ma'am. Apo.
Allen. Sige na, kala mo na.
Naman sa pig-raise ni Konsyal Uying Subago. What if may mga medical professionals from other places na gusto magpuli sa Naga? Na resident ka Naga? Anong position ta dyan?
Again po, the question should be answered by, are they going to, are they up or ma-duty po ba sinda?
Yes,
Pero kung for purposes of, they're going home for the purposes of just going home. Not because they are not, let's say po baga, I am a nurse of, say, sample po kanis, I am a nurse of a government hospital or private hospital in Metro Manila.
Yeah.
Mauli ako ngunyan sa Naga. For purposes of just going home to Naga, di po siya pwede. Unless that person is a resident of Naga and will be deployed to Naga, in Naga, as a frontliner. So ito po, magiging siyang APOR. And ang proof na po na APOR siya, si mission order na itatao sa iya, kang Department of Health, na siya ma-assign na po sa Naga. Pero just the same po, kung APOR po siya, still, ma-quarantine din po giraray siya. Same with what we did to the 95 police officers coming from Albay. Since igo po ning positive case man sa Albay, pig-quarantine na din po si for 14 days. And in fact, continuously po under quarantine pa si 95 PNP personnel. And madali naman pong matapos ang sa indang quarantine sa satuya pong Metro Naga Sports Complex.
Question. Kaming mga vulnerable sector, meaning mga senior citizen, yaon dyan si Councilor Buddy, yaon si Councilor Abonal, Councilor Ranyola, ibalik ko na si Councilor Lito, tapaparainitan ako. Can we consider ourselves as, in the function of our duties as APOR?
Minus the age consideration po. Minus the age consideration. Actually po, kamo po as a sanggunian panglungsod member, you are all APORs. In fact po, kabali po yan duman sa specific na pigpaluwas kang IATF. Yaon po duman, government officials na essential ang function. Kaibanan po kamo sa authorized persons outside residences. Kaya lang po, parte kang pag-iingat, siguro po, kay puhanta lang po siguro, in our level, sa local level, kung iga pong mas paagi na we can protect you as our decision makers, as well as maprotehiran din po nindo si iba, bahal po, mapuuna po kami maghiling itong mga paagi kung paano po we can adapt to the new normal under the GCQ.
Few items. Siguro ma-clarify aram nagluwas kay ko ining sa 60 years old and above, lalo lang kita di sa sanggunian na although 60 years old and above na pero very energetic and very willing to attend the session. So dapat i-clarify ni kasi Sir Allen, pag pigano tani anom lang ang matatada. Tas si Councilor Kylie 15 years old pa lang ni. Aram kong i-clarify na. Pero because nag-observe man kita ning baka may mga subsequent na pa man yan. Pero hindi sa mas seryoso, number one, itong transferability kang quarantine pass. Kasi pag nag-GHQ ka na, pwede ka na mag-transfer ng So, a separate guideline pertaining to the transferability of pass should be issued by the IMT para malinaw man sa mga barangay officials kasi they most probably baka they kung igwan yung mga bagong mga subsequent issuances and they ma-cascade tulo sa barangay officials maging reluctant sila sa pag-recognize kan si mga ano and itong mga nasa border control officers ta. Number 2, nadangog ko kadto na makanda kita ning mass testing. I don't know kung nakakandak na kita. Kasi kung pwede tang maiwasan ining 14-day quarantine kung igwa na kita ning mga paagi na matesta si malaog na day naman kay puan mag-observe ning 14-day quarantine gibuhon ta yan. Kasi kung for example, kasi ang pigihiling kong senaryo sa border kita naka ECQ pa kita and sa luwas kang Naga GCQ na mapapanoong border ta medyo magulo sa border. Difícil yan. Hirap man kang mga tao ni Mr. Gumba sa kang mga PNP magpara paliwanag, unnecessarily magpaliwanag kang bagay na ano ni. So, kung igwang paagi na mas mabilis na maaraman ang results, ano, so, speedy release of results, baka mga katabang. And ako sa iling ko, ang mindset ng yan is considering na pig-submit kang IMTC resolution Sunday, so Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Mayo pang simbag ang IATF, most probably baka manasin ng simbag and ma-convert na kita to general quarantine. So baka arog na kaya ng ano ta. So dapat ang planning ta is pasirin na kita duman. Ang ano ko lang, kung halimbawa si Malaog Igdi sa Naga makapahiling na ning results na cleared man siya, ano, i-allow ta yan. Nadangarig na siya mag-observe ng 14-day quarantine. Number 2, as far as the transport sector, yung hada ko lang naghahalat kanino sa transportation, tigahalat si DOTR guidelines, tricycle, padjak, etc. etc. So, sitong under regulatory ano kang mga local government units, kaya nga pagkakaulay ko si Councilor Baldemoro, kung magluwas ang DOTR guidelines before the end of the month to take effect May 1. So dapat magkaigwa kita ding session to adapt the guidelines kan DOTR para igwan ning sanction duman sa mga daima masunod. Pero I don't believe and I don't subscribe to the idea na magkaigwa kita ning number coding sa mga tricycles. Pag tricycles, padjak, jeepney, etc. etc. Kasi pag dako lang nagluluwas sa tao, maopisina, may mga dumanan, then kadikiton pa si means of transport, defeated si purpose na magpaluwas kaning transport. Number 2, itong pag number coding ka, defeated, appear kang defeated na, pig-hamper mo pa si livelihood opportunity naman kan si mga drivers. So baka ako as chairman kang transport, personally, ngunyan pa lang sinasuggest ko na baka di feasible and of course ma-convene man kang Committee on Transport kaya. Number 3, Sir Allen, itong sa mga pamasahe, so ilingon ta, ma-subscribe kita duman sa DOTR, then pero kung igwa kita ning mga suggestions igdi sa local level kang sangko ni ang palunsod members, then upon consultation iyo man yan i-abante. Kadakol kitang dapat pag-urulayan igdi, pero ang pinaka-importante igdi, Sir Allen, itong kung pwedeng maibitara na itong 14-day quarantine. Kasi kung igwa na mga hospital na nagkakandak ng test, then makakuha na sila ng, makasecure na sila ng results, and ipahiling na yan sa border control, baka agihan ta na, palaugon ta na si mga ano ni. Provided authentic si results and pwedeng ma-validate. Otherwise, we will be crowding our facilities. Pag pig-crowd ta ang facilities, madidrain ang resources ta for no apparent reason na kuyan na pigta-target ta. Magayon ang pika-quarantine ta, Kung nag-positive, well and good. Kung daiman, daing gayo sa kwenta. So, paano i-entertain kang IMT na si Rene kung igwa lang mapapahiling na test results itong mga malawag igdi sa Naga City? Oo. Sa pagkaaram kang kabos, ang Quezon Province and Albay under ECQ hanggang May 15. So most probably mayong malaog igdi tuya sa mga probinsya yan. Ang problema ang Camarines Sur is general community quarantine. So, unhampered na ko niya na tao sa community. So, pag nagruluwas na yan sa mga munisipyo ninda, dahil tanin mapupugulan man maglaog di sa Naga. Pag para pugulan mo yan, problema sa to yung mga borders. Problema sa to yung mga borders. So, I think, pahiwason ta pa, pabilison ta pa, other planning techniques tangarig na ma-address din na ang saro na dyan is pwede na kita mag-accept katong test na ipapahiling ninda kung iguaning mga accredited na mga hospital digdi na pwede na tangarig mapadali si paglaog. Thank you and good morning.
Madam Chair, sir, regarding the transportation, the general message still under the GCQ is to stay at home. While public transportation is being allowed, dahil man po sinasabing dapat gabusin da magpuuna. In fact, ang sugo po sa tuya is gradually nabukasan. Because naiintindihan man po kang IATF, sa ilimi po, kung babasahon taman ang guidelines, naiintindihan ninda ang impact ini in terms of infection control. More than anything else po, iniisip din si pag-contain. In fact, part po ini ka magiging presentation ni Sir Willie. Ano po si direction kang Pilipinas under the National Action Plan. Igo pong presentation ka ni si Sir Willie. Baad po mas magiging mas clear po si direction kang city. As to mass testing, Madam Chair, si mass testing po, we are very fortunate that a donor has approved us 5,000 rapid test kits. In fact, this is part of one of the Facebook posts of Mayor Nelson Legacion. Kaya lang po ito, masunod po ito duman sa decision tool na ibinaba kang Department of Health. Iguana po ng decision tool ang Department of Health, isay ang prioridad na dapat po i-subject to rapid testing. Saro po sa pigpaplano ta para po, saro po sa initially na pag-ulayan kang Medical Task Force, iyo po naiinuton itong mga PUM na naka-house po ngunyan sa satuya pong quarantine facilities. Tangarik pong ma-free up ta naman. Kung maya man po ning paghandal, pwede na po sindang tugutan na pumuli. Pero, of course, sinda po will be subjected to an undertaking that they will continue to finish their 14-day quarantine at home. Igwa po in fact po, igwa pong garo part kang isinabit po kang IMT, ma-quarantine po sinda, ma-quarantine po sinda sa facility ta. Sorry. Ang ma-clear po sa inda ang medical, si third meeting na pala to, sorry. Sa meeting po ang Medical Task Force, ito pong sa indang, ito pong pagpaluwas sa PUM facility will be upon the recommendation of the health Medical Task Force. Kasi po, ini po palang rapid test, igwang false negative, igwang false positive. So, dahil po talaga siya 100% na makakasabi na somebody is COVID-free or not infected. So, garo po, kuyan lang siya, diagnostic sa naman na mahiling talang dahil po ito pong mga rapid test kits nasa 95% si accuracy. So ang iniiwasan ta po itong 5% na inaccuracy katong test kit. But nonetheless, duman po sa ginibong teleconference kan sa tuya pong IMT team with BMC, igwa pong garo bibilogo na garo decision tool paano po si paggamit katong kumbaga po to supplement ito pong DOH decision tool. Garo po may localized version ng po na gibuhon sa tuya pong syudad on the usage of the 5,000 rapid test kits. And si plano pa po kung mabakal pa ang syudad, nadugang pa na rapid test kits para po sa mga taga-Naga. But maging klaro lang po na this early po, pigkaklaro na po ini kan IMT na ang sa Kaka-Medical Task Group na data po kaya itong inaapod na mass testing, meaning to say the 100% of the population will be tested. May kamahalan pong maray ang test kit, rapid test or ito pong qPCR test kit, medyo mahal po ito. Ang pigbubusol po and pareho man po kang ginigibo sa ibang mga syudad, sa iba pong mga probinsya is targeted testing. Healthcare workers, igwa po ning mga exposure, ito po si iirinuton. Ito pong mga volunteers, mga workers with high risk, si may mga exposure, si mga nagparairikot, nagparapanao po ning relief. Dahil po, kuyan, may high risk sinda. So sinda po si pwedeng irinuton for the testing. Pag-ulayan po kung paano. Certification na lang po yan. Actually, pareho man, border to border. Sir, Will ka naman.
Madam Chair, siguro naka-explain naman si Sir Allen, malinaw man si mga although may mga gray areas pa. Siguro, Madam Chair, we now hear Mr. Willie Prillas and after that, Mr. Rene Gumba para sa final summation consent. Thank you.
Thank you very much po.
Good afternoon, Your Honors. So ini po ang post-ECQ action plan kang syudad. This is a planning framework that was presented early this morning. So ini po ang highlights niya. Ini ang premise. By implementing the ECQ, na-arrest kang Government of the Philippines ang rapid spread kang disease sa Philippine population. Most of the modeling scenarios for the Philippines using available data show that the pandemic has not yet peaked as of April 23. Kasunod po may nagluwas na nag-peak na siya pero it's only one. So whether it is extended for 2 weeks or a month, kaya po na mag-preparar kita for a post-ECQ scenario. At the same time, all leading national and international agencies agree that the pandemic in a given country will only be contained if there is a vaccine and there is mass vaccination of citizens. This points a new normal na dapat pagkasurunduan ta, we must define and subscribe to. Which means that for the next 12 to 18 months, hindi ang estimates kang experts na period during which a vaccine can be developed and mass vaccination undertaken, itong dati tang nakagawian, dahil na ito ba pwedeng balikan. So we'll have to make sacrifices under this new scenario. So the key messages, there are 3 key messages because of that premise. One is that the lifting of the ECQ is not a magic bullet that will make the disease disappear. May nahiling kita sa Facebook na nagsasabing tiyagaan ta na ngayon, tapakatapos ka ni laya na kita. That is not correct. Until a vaccine is developed and mass vaccination is undertaken, this disease will still be with us. The experience a century ago was that the Spanish flu pandemic had 3 waves. That can also happen. So until we're able to realize vaccination, we will not go back to our pre-COVID-19 way of life, and we must accept a way of life that will require a lot of sacrifices. So these are the goals. Dua man lang. Prevent, contain, and eliminate the disease. And secondly, mitigate its impact to society and to the economy through supply normalization and demand regeneration. It will go through 3 stages: containment and prevention, elimination of threat, and mitigation of impact. Basado po ini sa National Action Plan kang government, kang IATF for the Philippines. Sino pang mga activities or actions that we need to take? Containment and prevention will adopt the current practice of smart community quarantine, smart testing. Ang recommendation may po is to randomly test the city population, at least 2%, para ma-identify ito kung saan ang hotspots, saan ang may presence kang disease, and contain them kung saan may presence. This will require a mobile city COVID testing facility to facilitate the testing of at least 5,000 sample population. Ano po ang projected cost? Mga 10 million. This is computed at 2,000 per testing kit using the price of the UP-developed PCR test kit. Right now, igwang duwang test kit available. Ang PCR is the gold standard. Hindi po ang masabi sa imo kung talagang igwa kang hilang. Itong rapid test kit, ito ang masabi sa imo kung may antibodies ka o may infection ka. So the rapid test kit does not tell you whether you have the disease, but this one developed by the UP will tell you that there is. Fortunately for Bicol, or specifically BMC, igwa kitang machine dyan na ang apod Gen Expert used to be used for TB, detecting TB. Ngunyan igwa ng mga test kit developed by the same company that will detect COVID. So right now, undergoing certification ang BMC, igwa ng expected na test kits coming from the US, pero limitado. Not from China. This is a US product, CEPID, not China. Ang dapat na lang isihon is whether the UP developed PQR test kit is compatible with that machine. And representation kang UP is that it's open source. So duwang bagay, kung compatible siya okay, kung dae baka pwedeng ulayan ang DOST and UP na i-reconfigure para maging usable sa tuya. So if that is the case, then we can go targeted testing using the gold standard, and the city can acquire a testing machine that will use these test kits. With this data, we can do targeted community level ECQ. But sabihin sa mga komunidad na nagluwas na dakul ang incidence kang disease, we can do community quarantine, and then smart lockdowns naman sa may talagang flare-up ng cases, supported by sustained multimedia IEC campaign, and the cancellation or redesign at the very least of the Peña Francia Fiesta and similar events arising from the IATF recommendation. So from the Sanggunian, these are our recommendation, an ordinance realigning the 2020 budget to support smart testing, and another ordinance, I was told by PJ that there is already a draft imposing preemptive quarantine and related measures for persons coming from municipalities with COVID who are coming home to Naga. Elimination of threat. Ini po will need your concurrence. There are now applications that will allow technology to do effective contact tracing at the expense of privacy considerations. Ang IT Opta po, igwa ng kaulay na app developer na pwede sa imong sabihon, kung si Isay ang mga kaurulay mo, halimbawa nag-positive ka, immediately sasabihin sa imo kung si Isay ang mga kaipuhan i-contact trace using technology. But again, this will require your assent because it will have privacy considerations. At the same time, we need to protect high-risk population. So, but sabihin kung high-risk siya, so mga senior citizen, probably work from home arrangements before retirement. So, yung estudyante study from home arrangements. Also, the recommendation is to stockpile PPEs and other COVID-related supplies, at least a 2-month buffer. Right now, the ita pa ma-estimate, so ang amount is still to be determined. And upgrade our local health system anchored on a COVID wing of the new Naga City Hospital. Si proposal is already with DOH, kaya punta na lang kumbinsi ron ang national government that that is a priority and that can be established right away within Naga. And lastly, igwa kita ning 7 evacuation centers. Dumangkota sa for implementation this year. Unfortunately, na-realign itong for later release ng mga projects ni Congressman Bordado. If we can convince the national government that they can be reconfigured into COVID evacuation facilities, so pwede siyang i-implement using DPWH funds. So, yan po ang mga proposal to eliminate threat in Naga City. Bouncing back, this is how to mitigate the impact of the disease in our society. So we will follow the IATF guidelines as discussed by Allen for the sectors that will be allowed to open. But at the same time, we'll explore the possibility contingent on implementing rapid testing. Ang proposal mi po sa rapid testing, cost-sharing arrangement, especially for businesses. Kung igwa kita ang rapid testing, we can have a CHO fit for work clearance for qualified workers based on rapid testing results. And recommendation kang UP, continuing detection through random test. So, halimbawa, nagbukas ka ng negosyo, your coworkers will still be randomly tested para mahiling kung igwa ka ng infection o mayo. At the same time, screen out returning workers. So, what sabihin kung igwa kang empleyado over 60 or under 20, data na sinda papabalikon, work from home arrangements sinda. And moving forward, define COVID guidelines for businesses, workplaces, and other public facilities. So ang kaipuan po kani will be an enabling ordinance for that certification system. Normalization of supply. The proposal is to put up a technical business assistance desk or helpline with the help of the the Naga City Investment Board para tabangan ang businesses digdi sa syudad na maka-access ning stimulus funding from the national government. Itong mga businesses na dai maka-access, the proposal is for the city to borrow money from financial institutions that we can relend to local businesses para igwasinda ni cash flow to tide them over during these times na sarado sinda. We will mobilize idle public transport unit to fast-track supply chain logistics. So kung may mga daigamit na jeep na nangaipon ni transport, we can make use of that. Strengthen community market program through direct linkaging. Igwa na kitang application si Community Mart. We will want to maximize that tanganing mahali si middleman, connecting the producers to the buyers. And at the same time, expand them within Metro Naga. Right now, kepon may mga parabakal hali sa luwas kang Naga. Pero kung ang munisipyo na through this community market can partner with the app developer, gamiton ang application to identify kung anong kaipuan bakalon, then we will minimize the frequency of people entering our borders. So legislative requirements, ordinance allocating additional funds to Metro Peso, still to be determined, to be incorporated in the realigned budget and in the 2021 proposed budget. And this will be augmented by COVID-19 stimulus funds from the DTI, DOT, Land Bank, DBP, and other national government agencies. The consideration for relending, there are going to be conditions stipulated by the city para mas maging efficient ang operation. So these are to be considered. Agriculture. Once Naga is ASF free, we will restock the pig population through dispersals backed up by inputs support para maging attractive ang livestock segment na yan kang industry. Coupled with aggressive farm support to redirect business funds to agriculture. Right now, before COVID, ang paghiling ta sa agrikultura, baba. Pero under COVID, it's an attractive opportunity dahil naobligar kitang magdepende sa satuyang kakayahan to generate our own food. So business can be enticed to go into agriculture and related businesses. Free use of the city nursery, post-harvest facilities, online training and preparation of all establishments, workers on proper social distancing and sanitizing, and lead local businesses to utilize and integrate technology and digitalization. In Naga, we're fortunate na igukita ng local developers like Nueka, ito bagang Angrili, Pandelivery. These are locally homegrown products that are competing with Food Panda. So the direction is to mobilize them to help our businesses, our local businesses become more competitive. So ang legislation is an ordinance, siguro omnibus ordinance ini, allocating additional funds and technical personnel to the City Agriculture Office. And at the same time, we should exert effort to augment local funds by tapping DA, DAR, Land Bank, DBP, and other stimulus funds of the national government. Demand regeneration. Igwaning mabalik na mga overseas Filipino na medyo hard life, pero igwaning mabalik na may excess money. So the idea is to refocus the returning OFs with excess resources and other local private investments towards agriculture. And this can be helped if we leverage the idle tax ordinance to encourage landowners of these idle farms to make available their farm holdings to the city so that the city can consolidate these farms, achieve economies of scale, and under contract growing arrangement, give the incentive for these investors in agri-farming and agribusiness to go into this sector. So in under contract growing, ang idea ni city administrator, may guaranteed price ang city government aside from the inputs at which the city will buy the produce. Ang sarong option is for the city to do the farming itself. Kita ang consolidator, kita ang farmer will use the urban poor beneficiaries as cash for workers para magtrabaho sa farming. Although that should be studied because not all of them are willing to go into farming. Baka lingaw na kung paano mag-uma. Lastly, allow tri-mobiles to operate. Councilor Lito will not like this. On odd-even scheme, 1 passenger per trip, 25 peso flat fare per trip. Garo, inobligar kitang maging araw kang Ligaspi nagabus special trip. For Pajak, double the fare to double the current fares para maging viable, makatabang sa inda. So the requirement for this will be, as Allen said, an attempt to review and strengthen the idle land tax ordinance and an ordinance setting a new fare matrix under GCQ for tri-mobiles and Pajaks. The budgetary requirements, unfortunately, will need some time. So ang magiging request me is for the line aid of the frontline agencies of the city, like for this one cargo, to make the necessary computations. Fuel subsidy for legitimate PUJs and tri-mobiles. Again, the intention is to improve their take-home pay, their borrowing capacity as a means of creating more demand. And ang caveat, you will use this as a carrot so that they will be encouraged to comply with passenger distancing protocols. Ang requirement is an ordinance operationalizing fuel subsidy scheme. The PSO will be requested to do the pencil pushing for this. At the same time, this should be augmented by COVID-19 stimulus funds from DOTR and other attached agencies of the national government. Another recommendation is to relax restriction on back rides for motorcycles for couples. It's unreasonable na magkaibasan sinda sa arong dahil pwedeng magkasugno sa motor. So kung may ID showing that they are couples, pwede sinda magsugno. For the rest, the no back ride policy should be maintained. And then fast tracking and identification of local infra projects that the city will still implement and then implement projects costing not more than 2 million by administration and by utilizing job orders or Pacquiao so that there will be employment generation. Economic readjustment. This is my third to the last slide. Prepare the local economy for a transition period, a 3 to 18-month future that will allow local businesses and workforce to leap ahead after the crisis. This will require conducting post-COVID business redesign or product development sessions. So we will guide the local businesses how to adjust to the new normal. Retrain and retooling the workers based on the new business plans. And strengthen innovation programs and funding for the digital, health, sanitation, engineering, and other startups. These are identified by the NCIB as the potential industries for growth, and then enhance the market reach of existing ones. Again, the requirement is an ordinance realigning the current budget to support this economic readjustment undertakings. The budgetary requirements will be determined by NCIB and Peso. Of course, it should be augmented by stimulus funds from the national government, DTI, DOST, and other GFIs. Governance. The recommendation is to provide targeted tax relief to the business sector and relief from leases on government-owned property. So the recommendation is to extend the suspension of rentals from city properties. Again, this will require an ordinance enabling these. Ang recommendation me, on the other hand, is for the local finance committee to calibrate, considering that we are expecting, according to Frank, 500 or 400 million shortfall. At the same time, we are being requested to do a lot more. So hilingon kung ano ang extent and coverage kang tax relief and relief on leases. At the same time, for the city to reduce its cost, maximizing existing resources for COVID response. As of April, according to the CTO, nakulikta na 50% of the business tax, 60% of RPT. So relatively we're okay, but we will expect that we will not be able to hit the target. That's why we have to redo our budget. And as Frank said, the full impact of this epidemic will be felt next year. And lastly, reorient city government procurement in favor of local producers and service providers, not just suppliers. And avoid Chinese products. So the action requested in next steps, we are endorsing the plan for your comments and recommendation and hopefully approval. And the next step is for the action plan to be endorsed to key agencies of the city for costing and AIP preparation. Most of these, practically all of them, requires identifying or putting in the numbers. So for instance, CAGO and Veterinary to do agriculture and livestock, Peso and Investment Board, livelihood and business development, ACTO for tourism, HSDO and GNP for community employment, CSWDO for social amelioration, CHO and ITO, surveillance and contact tracing, Local Finance Committee for tax relief, BAC for procurement, CEO for infrastructure, and PSO for transport. By the way, I forgot to highlight that we are also proposing extended local social amelioration. Garo na day mi nagibuan slide. We are proposing targeted local social amelioration for vulnerable families. We anticipate that over the next 6 months, igwam talagang nangangiipo mga families ini namayo ning kaibanan sa harong na day makakatrabaho. So ang recommendation is to undertake social amelioration interventions. Pero ang priority, as Frank mentioned, kung pwede man lang na community employment program, tawaning trabaho, short term, para makatabang sa mga projects ng syudad, ito ang direksyon. So that is all, Your Honors. Thank you for, I will appreciate your comments. The presentation are already with.
Sir,
Thank you, Madam Chair. Again, pag-abot sa procurement, if possible, we should avoid purchasing Chinese-made products. Made in China products. If there is an alternative, maski mahal ka dikit, I think we should do that to teach the People's Republic of China that we are not welcoming what they have done to the entire world. Yan. Yan lang yan sa kuyang sentiment, Willie. Magabot sa procurement kan city. Thank you.
Madam Chair. Sir Willie, thank you, Sir Willie, for that presentation. You've mentioned several ordinances to be passed by the Sanggunian. Are we going to wait for the draft to be given to the Sanggunian, or you are going to wait for the Sanggunian to make the draft? For all the suggested ordinances.
Coordinate with nala, with the Willie.
Okay, thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Rosales. Honorable Del Castillo.
With respect to the realignment of the 2020 budget, I think it's the executive who should first prepare what are the items or the programs that we should focus on for the remaining 9 months of this year. Dahil mas nakakaaram ang executive kung saan dapat i-focus sa tuyang mga resources. And with that, we will just be waiting for the recommendation coming from our city mayor with regard to that realignment of our 2020 budget. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Del Castillo. Any other comments, remarks, observation? Okay, everything is clear. You have a copy to be distributed sa mga ano. Honorable Kylie.
Chair, while I am supporting na we do not patronize Chinese products na po, I've just read from CNN na there are Chinese medicines being sought by some personnels in the AFP. So maybe we can make sure that it's uncertain yet if these are already applying for FDA approval, the Chinese medicines. So maybe we can do something about it na day na po yan maka-apodigdi sa local government. Thank you po.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Kylie Trifulca. Any other comments? None. Okay, Honorable Miles.
I particularly support everything that was presented, except I'm still not really settled about the value of mass testing. Di ko kaya siya nahiling, Madam Chair, kasi halimbawa nag-testing mo niyan, mayong nag-positive, or at least may nagsarong positive. How long will that situation last? Pag nag-test kita mo niyan, na 10 lang ang positive, for example. Kung negative ako, for example, dahil gustong sabihin negative, giraray ako tomorrow. No? Dahil gustong sabihin negative pa rin ako tomorrow because of exchange. So, why don't we really focus? I think it will also serve some purpose, but I think we're missing the real solution. I think the real solution is prevention. Ang prevention is, ang sabi po, the virus is transmitted through droplets. So kung very strict po talaga kita sa pag-wear ng mask, and i-penalize na talaga sila nag-wear ng mask, I think the new normal should be everyone should be wearing mask. Kasi that's the way of transmission. Bago pa kita magpunta duman sa cure, duman kita sa transmission. So kung di po talaga nagtatransmit, nakamask kita, may social distancing kita, and naghuhugas kita pero may kang kamot na, may alcohol kita, make sure na may sufficient supply of alcohol, pigre-require tang pirming maggamit alcohol kita, pero mayo bagang mga supply sa mga departments o sa mga grocery stores. So, baka hilingon ta rin po yan, itong stricter enforcement kang face mask. Kasi garo, sabi ko, iba maarteon man ngayon, para face mask pa. Pero yung po ang transmission, it's the droplets that comes from our mouth and our noses when we sneeze or talk even, or even just breathe. Iyo po yan ang mean. So, sana stricter ang enforcement kang face mask, Madam Chair. Second, I particularly support itong pagpakusog kang agrikultura. Kasi sa calamity po bagang ini, ang pinaka-issue really is pagkakan. Kasi di kita nakakaruluwas, di nakakatrabaho. Pero kung igwa po ko ng mga tanom sa itong mga bakanting daga, no? Kung gabos na harong dyan, igwa talagang tanom-tanuman. So, yeah, I believe we should really focus on that matter, Madam Chair, not to be dependent on food upon anyone. Dapat igwa talaga kitang self-sufficiency in terms of food. So, thank you, Willie, for that presentation. I'm really looking forward to the Sanggunian passing the necessary ordinances to put all those things on official paper that will guide action of the city government. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Marcy Arroyo. Honorable Elmer Baldemoro.
To Madam Chair, could we go back now to our main agenda, the proposed ordinance?
I think Honorable Del Rosario has something to say with regards to the mask.
Madam Chair, yung thank you Sir Willie for aram kong pigparagalan indo ining pag-summarize kani. Ang sa kuya Madam Chair, personally ang pinaka-importante ko sa parte ko itong job generation. Kaya talagang tututukan tayo ni na paano magkakaigwa ning kwarta ang tao. Tangarig maibakal niya sa neighborhood niya, mga tindahan, sari-sari store, so on and so forth. Siguro job generation sa paagi na dahil nang gayong dakulo na requirements na ano ang Metro Peso or ano man na agency tayo sa city, and job generation na dahil lang specific duman sa kalalakihan, kababaihan, pati siguro itong mga hobbiness na mayong trabaho, baka iano ta. For example, ang community activity, paglinig kang then 10 days. Itong garo concept kang tupad, pero nag-iikot sa Madam Chair. Tangari gabos igwaning gabos nagsisibot ang mga saruod mga membro kang pamilya. Tangarig may sweldo sinda after 10 days. Tangarig may kwarta siya, tangarig may pambakal siya. Tangarig si ekonomiya, kang sityo, kang zona, si economic activity, nagpo-prosper. Igdi lang sa paaging iniyo, ma-achieve ining purpose na economic regeneration. Otherwise, kung mayong kwarta ang ordinaryong tao sa barangay, ang mga hobbiness, ang mga kalalakihan o kababaihan, dahil na mo na isipon ining mga national government dole-outs. Kung may kwarta ang City Government of Naga, iluwas na siya, tangarig na mag-generate kita ng trabaho and stimulus duman sa mga sektor na kaipuantang trabangan. Tangarig na mag-take off tulos kita. Otherwise, Madam Chair, ang projection ko medyo maano kitang maray kung magparadako lang mga requirements sa doon ta. Siguro mag-iisip ang grupo na Sir Willie sa simplified program na makikinabang bako lang ang kalalakihan, kababaihan sa mga barangay, mga hobbiness. Tangarig magsweldo siya. Pag sweldo niya, another round na naman, kasi mga katarain ninda, tangarig may kwarta siya. Otherwise, kung ang tao, Madam Chair, sa barangay ta, sa zona ta, mayong kwarta, dawa ano magpapara-programa tampig para isipon sa city level o sa national level, kung mayo man siyang kwarta, mayo man yan mamamati. Maparaasa yan sa dole-out kang city o ka national level. Maparaasa yan kang bagas na hali sa tuya. Maparaasa yan kang kung ano, mga dole-out hali sa barangay. Pero kung may kwarta siya, sa loob ng 10 aldaw, nagtrabaho siya, halion ta na itong ibang mga qualifications. Importante nag-generate siya ng kwarta. Kaya ang pinaka-importante ni Madam Chair, job generation. Pag na-address mo yan, pag may kwarta ang tao sa local level, sa sityo, sa zona, dikit-dikit maano ang ekonomiya tayo sa Naga. Thank you, Madam.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Del Rosario. Any other remark, comment? Mayo nang thank you, Sir Willie, sa imo pong presentation. We learn a lot. Copies will be distributed to the members sa Sangguniang Paglunsod. The report of Allen and Mr. Willie Prilles. Any other? Sisay pa ang ma-report, may naman? Rene? Mr. Rene. Okay. Updates tungkol po sa present situation. Mr. Rene Gumba. Before we proceed.
Good morning po. The request is on the updates on the
Updates,
quarantine
yes,
facilities. We have at present at least 3 existing holding area for PUMs, and we have 1 treatment center for our PUIs. And we are developing a second treatment center, that is the City College of Naga new building sa May Almeda po. The building has been completed and we are trying to provide the requested medical facilities and equipments that will be used for the treatment center. This will be accommodating the spillover of our PUI patients from the OLI, from the infirmary in the Carolina area. Sa ngunyan po, yan duwang facility na iyan, iyo ang magiging major treatment center for mild and moderate or mild PUI cases. Moderate and severe would be referred to the BMC or to their spillover facility, which is also the Cabusao, the hospital in Cabusao. For the PUM, we have the main holding area for further medical procedures, that is the Leon Mercado High School. The Leon Mercado High School is said to can accommodate at least 80 plus PUM. Right now it has 56, so it's also slowly being filled up. So we have a backup facility, that is the Pacol Elementary School. The Pacol Elementary School can handle at least 50 PUMs. And then we have another one in the nursery, in the City Agriculture's Office nursery sa may Carolina po, that can accommodate at least 10 PUM also. So all of these facilities are already prepared, except the City College of Naga facility. We have prepositioned materials. We have prepositioned the beddings, the beds, and other needs for our PUMs. All of these are covered by CCTV. We have Wi-Fi, and we have two-way radio communication for access to the facility from our command center. So it's on a 24/7 monitoring operation until this time po.
As per request of the Councilor Marjorie Arroyo, comprehensive report from the COVID-19 IMT. What other report would you like to ask Mr. Reno Gumba as the head? Is that it? Okay, Honorable Del Rosario.
As requested by Councilor Miles in our group chat, we have already heard yung comprehensive. This contains na yung discussion ni Mayor Nelson Subago, ni Mr. Riondanga, ni Sir Frank, and ni more or less nahiling ta na ang daralagan tama niya.
Okay, Honorable Aragabonal.
Madam Chair, I had the chance to go out this morning. Narisa ko po na garubaga at least yung sa barangay pagluwas mi sa may Kalawag, gabos na boundaries, barangay boundaries ko niyan, iga po ning checkpoint. Ang medyo tatsar ko lang ta. Sige sa naman, aragi kan mga auto, may checkpoint, mayo man. Garo nagkakaag sa nakita ng tao na mayo man gibo. Gusto ko pong maaraman kung ano ang purpose kang garo barangay boundary checkpoints. Ano po ba ang purpose kayan? Ano ang otoridad ninda? Ano ang instruction sa kanila?
Yes, sir. The barangay control points are actually operating under the IMT Task Force on Security. The task force is instructed to execute or enforce the use of quarantine pass for people who are leaving their residences. Narisata po kaya na kadakol bihikulo, kadakol mga tao ang nagruruluwas in spite of the restrictions that we have imposed. So now we have at least 3 layers of enforcers in the city. The first layer is the Border Control Unit. Ang nag-ooperate po dyan, Naga City Police Office and the Philippine Army. Ito po yan mga boundary kang syudad. And in these border control units, you only have 4 major entrance and exits. Ini pong sa Bagong Bayan Norte, sa May Abella, Kamaligan boundary, Milaor boundary, and then Del Rosario area. Aside from those 4 boundaries, all other access to the city has been locked down. So there will be no one coming in or coming out of these other exits and entrance to the city. So that's our first layer of control. The second layer is on the Central Business District 1. We have laid out the checkpoints in such a way that people who are going into the market are literally restricted and reminded to observe social distance and probably just walk. Kaya may mga checkpoint po sa palibot kang sa tuyang Naga City People's Mall. Checking on the quarantine pass and then reminding people to observe social distance. Kang mga nakaagi po kayang aldaw, kadakol so nagtutuyaw na grabe so pagtiripon kang mga tao sa lugar na yan. So that was our intervention. That was seconded by the Naga City People's sa Libuton. Ito pong market sa Libuton na pareho man sinaging sitwasyon. Mayong sistema. So we have intervened by putting on some personnel to ensure that there is distancing and there is checking of the quarantine passes. Now the third layer, that became our second layer. All of these are operating on a 24-hour basis. Now the third layer is on the barangay control points. The main rationale here is that even before they get out of the barangay, their quarantine pass will be checked already. So ang pinakapapilsa na po kang yaon dyan sa barangay is to check on the quarantine pass. I-check sa mga tao kung balido o bako so dara-dara niyang passes. Igwaning mga zona na nagralaag ng mga ulang sa Kalyeninda, again, we are not stopping that, but the requirement is that all of this will have to be under the supervision of our task force security being headed by our Naga City Police Office. So gabos po na mga ulang na nakalaag sa siyudad Tangunyan, ang nagsusupervise kaiyan dapat sa tuyang Naga City Police Office as head of the IMT Task Force on Security. So this will include even your mobile groups, even the groups that are may mga nakadeploy pong grupo sa Magsaysay, sa may Panganiban, sa may Francia. All of them, the common mission, check on the quarantine pass. And we are enforcing the curfew provisions. So we are trying as much as possible to mobilize as many enforcers as we can to put some flesh, to put some force into what we are trying to accomplish here.
Okay, Honorable, thank you, Rene. Honorable Secretary.
Thank you, Madam Chair. First, I would like to thank Mr. Gumba for all the efforts and time that he has put as Commander, IMT Commander. Bakong suba-suba, Madam Chair, ang obligasyon niya, and I think he is able to perform it well. But sabi nga ni Kayan, the road to excellence is always continuing. Mayo man perfecto, permi kitang mag-efforts para mas mapakarahay pa. Ang question ko, Madam Chair, sa mga barangays po kaya, may mga streets na baratan ta, pero pwede man sanang magluwas sa other areas na mayong barat. So, parang ang pagmati ko, sayang na wasted effort po ito, nababaratan ta sa sarong street, and then pwede man mag-agi duman sa other street, na mayo man lugod nagsisita duman. So, ang objective kang pagbarat sa mga certain areas, para ma-check ko ta kang barangay, kung si isay ang maluwas sa barangay, dapat itong may leave pass. Pero kung maagi man sana sa other areas, di man sana ma-achieve si purpose. I would suggest na if we could, I think pwede na siguro ining executive order or I think an ordinance of the Sanggunian requiring establishments to deal only with those who have quarantine pass. Gustong sabihin, hagado ninda. Halimbawa, mabakal sa sarong grocery store, bago pala ugon yaon sa impo ang quarantine pass nindo. Kasi doon ang effective control not in the barricades in the barangay kasi dakulon iba nga agihan. So I think we should consider this, Madam Chair, if we are looking at the leave pass as one effective control, then the ultimate point should be where it should be checked, which is the establishments where they are going to. So I am not sure if we need an ordinance, because if we do, then I think we should pass it. But in the meantime that there's no draft ordinance, I think the IMT can already make an advisory to all the establishments. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Marisaki Arroyo. Honorable, are you going to answer the, okay.
Just to reiterate that there is an existing policy instrument that we are using on the declaration of the enhanced community quarantine issued by our mayor. That's what we are using. And if I'm not mistaken, you also had enacted an ordinance on the enhanced community quarantine, empowering the mayor to provide for such mechanisms. Our IMT has been going around the various malls, the various commercial establishments. Two things. First, to require them to get the quarantine pass of their customers. And second, to ensure social distancing. So ini po supigri relibot kang sa tuyang mga operatives, including the malls and the commercial establishments, which is, I think, becoming more challenging. Lalo na ngunya na nagluluwas ang barita na sa general community quarantine, mas maluwag ang regulation, which is contrary to what will actually happen. So it is on that note, Madam Chair, that we are hoping that we get more people to help in the checking of these quarantine passes. And just to clarify po, the incident commander in the ICS system works directly under the order of the city mayor. So it is because of good instructions that we are also doing good as a team. Thank you po.
Thank you, Mr. Rene. Okay, Honorable Kylie Trapulca.
Hello. Thank you, Madam Chair. May I know po what our policy is po over quarantine passes which are confiscated and lost?
Confiscated passes are returned to the respective barangays. Those who were, the concerned person are advised to go to their respective barangays. Kung saan po pig issue so pass ninda, duman man ninda babalikan. Tapapaliwanagan sinda kang barangay ninda na dahil na ito pwedeng mautro, tapig mamarkahan mi na po. So pang duwa, so pang tulong confiscation, dahil mi na yan ibabalik sa barangay ninda. And they will be losing the privilege.
So ibabalik nindo si the confiscate.
First time po, second time, nabalik po sa, we have Councilor Dodit sitting in the IMT. Sa iyami po gabos turnover. So mga nakumpiska, and then he farms out to the respective barangays.
Binabalik girare nindo?
Opo, first and second yata. First and second po. Opo, pero may note na po kaming linalaag duman sa quarantine pass. So pag third na po yan, dahil na po binabalik, and we will have to talk to the punong barangay and the person concerned po.
Okay, thank you. Honorable Kylie.
Request po that we provide an issuance with regard to this one po so that our constituents will know po. Thank you po.
Thank you, Kylie. Mr. Rene.
Yes po, the IMT can do that.
Okay, thank you. Any other remarks? Question, Honorable Del Rosario.
Pig-present ni Sir Willie itong consolidated na plano. Number one, we wish to thank them for the efforts. Number two, para makahiro man tulusin da, Madam Chair, I move na we acknowledge the report and we support all the activities na contained therein, subject to submission of the other documents sa Sangguniang Palunsod. Para itong mga tasking duman makahiro naman sinda, may time man sila, and siguro we give them 10 days or 2 weeks to prepare all the para maisabit man sa Sangguniang Panunsod and madiscuss sa tulos. Sa hiling ko kay Puan maninda ning boost para makahiro naman sinda. Ay sumuba naman siya.
Okay, any second to the motion? Okay, approve. Ay, Honorable Ranyola.
Iwatabi ka mong order na ang senior citizen pwedeng mag-grocery sa mga mall.
EU.
Duman po sa ECQ, dai, pwede. Dai, pwede. Kaya, ang urulay na lang, pakiulay mi na lang, kung may mga younger na kaiba sa harong, iyon na mo lang isugo para makaiwas po para sa security man po, sa safety tayan. Data nahihiling sa virus na inaagihan ta. And if I may just announce also, according to our IMTPIO, we have been declared to be under the general community quarantine by May 1 by the national government. Iya po. So it seems our request has not been
So general,
considered. Sorry. Sige po, may clarification lang.
Ayan si Mayor.
Press release.
It is true that there is already a statement from the spokesperson of the national government that enumerating those provinces, cities under enhanced community quarantine, and necessarily those which are not, and under general community quarantine. So Naga was not included under ECQ. But I have a recent communication with Undersecretary Jonathan Malaya. That's only about 15 or 20 minutes ago. And he promised to bring the matter to the attention of Secretary Anyo. So we may be able to wait until probably today or tomorrow. But if our request is not acted upon, as I said earlier, then we will have to prepare for that scenario where we will be under general community quarantine. Okay.
Thank you, Mayor. So, pa. Okay, any other remarks, comments? No more? Okay, Honorable Elmer?
We go back, Madam Chair, to the main agenda, the proposed ordinance.
City Secretary?
The proposed ordinance imposing preemptive quarantine and related measures as a proactive action against the further spread of COVID-19 and or resurgence of its incidents in Naga City.
Okay, Honorable Miles Saquedaroyo?
Sponsorship, so that's a certified ordinance from the mayor? Yes? Or not? Otherwise, it's being presented on joint and collective motion? Yes?
Yes, it's from
So is it a certified ordinance or on joint and collective motion? Presented as certified or joint and collective?
Joint
and collective? Okay.
Joint and collective.
Yes, Madam Chair. The presentation of Mr. Riondanga earlier, some of them are not yet included in that ordinance. So I think we should input all those matters that Mr. Riondanga stated, presented to us. Those that are in red in your presentation, those that are not in red, that were in red, are not yet there. So I think we should include them.
Ano ang ihan niyo dyan?
Also earlier there was a question as to who would shoulder the expenses for those who are required to undergo the 14-day quarantine. Mayo kaya siya dyan, Madam Chair. So I think those issues we have to answer in the ordinance itself.
So can we put it now? A
So,
section? So make the...
yes, Madam Chair. So if since there is an urgency to pass this, I think we should hold another session for this, because this will answer for the next moves of the city. Kasi kung daipa Or pwede man siguro, Madam Chair, itong presentation ni Mr. Yundanga, i-input na dyan.
Incorporate na dyan.
Yes, and then ipapas na in principle, and then ibabalik sa
Yes,
tuya.
ibalik sa
Kung
tuya
mayroon
next
kitang mga comment, di iyon na to.
Okay.
Yes, so we don't have to come to session anymore.
Okay.
So may I move, Madam Chair, that we include the presentation, the matters presented by Mr. Yundanga to be accounted for in this proposed ordinance, and we pass it on joint and collective motion in principle, with the instruction, Madam Chair, that before the final copy be signed by the presiding officer, that it be copies of it be submitted to the members for their final comments.
for their
Thank you, Madam
corrections
Chair.
and other comments. So in joint and collective motion, approve in principle. Okay, Honorable Abunal.
Ang ganda po ngunyan, madam. Mapang kasimbagan siya po ko na magpa ECQ kita magpa GCQ. Si Hali nga sa Pasakaw ba? Pamplona, tamayo maning COVID sa Pamplona. Na gusto nang Buweltang Naga. Ma-quarantine pa ba siya o dahil na diretso ng Buweltang Naga? Pwede nang mag-Buweltang Naga. Ang concern ko kay madam, may mga workers, mga informal or formal workers na nakaruluwas Naga bago mag-ECQ. I mean, ako mismo, concern kentay ko kaming worker na ano man daw ta the day before, nagpapamplo na. Pag-declare lugod ay na nakabulta. And more than 1 month na yung mayong trabaho. That's why I'm interested on May 1 whether we are ECQ or GCQ, papalaugon yan sa Naga.
Pwede karong ano na lang. Naday pala ugon.
Kaya kung GCQ kita, papabultaho na yan sa Naga.
Pwede
Tali
nang
man
maglao.
Pamplona, mayo man yung COVID sa Pamplona. Or San Fernando for that matter.
Ayan, baka pwede po si Mr. Gumba.
Si Pasakaw, medyo do dapat na lang kay Guaduman yung tarong kaso.
If it is not a place wherein a COVID-19 case has been confirmed, we don't require the quarantine. So that's the main
Pero pwede
prerequisite.
na siyang makalaog.
Opo. Opo. The APOR.
Ano?
Private individuals from other municipalities going into Naga will have to coordinate with the respective municipality. That's the protocol that we have adopted. We have issued border passes to the respective municipalities, and they are the ones who give the residents the pass. Kung mapabangko yan, magduman siya sa munisipyo ninda, tatawanan siya ng banking pass. Kung masaod yan, maduman siya sa munisipyo ninda, sa mga wholesalers pass na tinatao. So bako na po sa to subagahe, they just show their border pass from their municipality. Otherwise, they po.
We expect na, Madam Chair, na may swords kita hindi kang tao sa mga.
Ayun.
Expect na.
Sa pag-release na yan. Okay, any other comment? Next item. Honorable, ay itong sa balata.
Yes, Madam Chair. Item on the unfinished business, the resolution submitted by Barangay Balatas.
Barangay Balatas.
Siguro, Madam Chair, may i-request na lang sa tuyang Liga President na iklaro lang sa mga punong barangay and also the barangay treasurer who will make the payroll na daini automatic igagrant. Ang tatawan lang, sinag-render service. Tamay mga barangay po na basta lang nagiribong payroll dahil paka-easy, pigranta ning additional honorarium. Siguro po through our Liga President. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Baltimoro. Honorable Beltran.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Duman po sa pag-urulay Mikan Liga, saka po si Mayor Nelson Legasyon, araman po ninda na ang dapat po tawan sinag-rendered lang po ning service sa barangay. Maski ka pa po barangay kagawad, kung dahil ka man po nagtabang, dahil ka po tatawanan. Iyo po yan si urulay mi.
Honorable Abunal.
Bang i-incorporate na presentation ni Mr. Riondanga. Si Sai po ang magibukad to. Si Mr. Riondanga or any?
I think it's the secretary. Nag-report na po si Mr.
Secretary
Riondanga,
na kayong
and
magibukad.
he has already submitted his report to the Sangguniang Panglunsod. Okay, any other comment? Honorable Miles Sakitaroyo.
For the ordinance that was passed earlier, since ipapadaraman to iraray sa tuya bago pirmahan, ilaag ta na siguro si mga i-clarify ta na si mga gray areas duman na nagluluwas. Yun na to si opportunity ta na ma-correct. So sana lang maipadara sa tuya before it is signed again. Thank you, Madam.
Yes, Secretary is so instructed. Thank you, Honorable Arroyo. Honorable Rosales. Wala ko nagka-raise ka.
Okay na po, Madam Chair. I was going to propose for the inclusion in the agenda itong amending the provision for the BHW and TANOD. Kaya lang, igwa na yata.
Gigibuan na.
So, day na po, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Rosales. Honorable Trifulca.
Sir, this is related to the amended ordinance. We also have to amend ordinance number 2020-034 and 35. 34 is about the we called it honoraria or mobilization fund for the SK officials. The 35 is pertaining to the barangay officials. I was presented a while ago by our city accountant a DBM circular number 2020-01 recommending that we change our title to COVID hazard pay. Yes, ano po kayan? Not honoraria because we are not giving honorarias to the barangay and SK officials daw po. And then she also recommended that we change our amount. It should be a uniform amount since it's pertaining to a hazard pay daw po. So with that po, I move to amend ordinance 2020-034 po, reverting the amount of 1,120,000 for the SK officials, giving 5,000 to all the SK officials po.
Any second to the motion? Before the second, is that an objection?
Chair, can we first see that circular so that we'll be apprised of what's contained in that circular being referred to? We have not seen a copy of that circular. So,
Honorable Trifulca, can you show the guidelines?
yeah, before we act on that, we should first see a copy and read it so that we will understand.
Madam Chair, this is the DBM circular po. Pinicturan ko lang subago. AO number 26 dated March 23 authorizes the grant of hazard pay to be called as COVID-19 hazard pay to government employees and workers engaged through contract of service or JO. Basis to physically report for work during the implementation of an ECQ in their respective workstations. In an amount, yes, and said benefit po shall be granted to the aforementioned government employees and workers since they are inevitably exposed to health risks and hazards if they physically report for work during the period of an ECQ. And I will also send po this copy to everyone.
Okay, does that satisfy you, Honorable Del Castillo?
To see a copy of that circular.
Send it to the Honorable Tripulca.
Madam Chair.
Kahit Honorable Baldemoro.
For further clarification, Madam Chair, a while ago, I'll also talk to the city accountant. And sinabi niya po duman na di barangay personnel, pwede kita magtao since they are allowed since igwasa to ning city counterpart. Ang problema lang po is the barangay official and the SK and the Sangguniang Kabataan. So ang suggestion made by the accountant is gibuhan na lang pong hazard pay. Pero dapat uniform. With that, kaipuan tamang pong i-amend not only the SK but also the granting to barangay official. So kung gigibuhon ta po itong 5,000 gabos, ang affected duman is the punong barangay. Here is po my proposition. Ipararesta po 5,000 and dagdagan ta na lang 5,000 itong kapitan out of duman sa itatao takuta. May remaining pa po ba kitang 5,000 na itatao? Idagdag na lang to for the punong barangay para po maging uniform manggiraray 5,000 on the payroll. However, maluwas kung duman sa itatao tang another 5 to the punong barangay, it will total also to 10,000. Thank you, Madam.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Baldemoro. So magiging 10,000 ang kapitan, 5,000 ang mga barangay kagawad.
5,000 po kapos.
5,000 kapos ang maluwas. Okay. Dahil daw maapektuhan si tinausa tuyang appropriation ordinance niya, no? Itong amount na itinausa tuya ang City Budget Office?
No, Madam Chair, dahil ang recipient man po giraray gato is kapitan man giraray.
Okay.
If the body po is agree, dahil ilan po ito kaya nahihiling kong remedy, dahil dapat po para rehas, kung mataong hazard pay, dahil dapat may halangkaw,
uniform.
Dapat uniform. So, since the SK na nagtaon ng the SK chairman and the SK kagawad, including the treasurer and secretary, all 5,000. So, sailing po is okay na itong 5,000 to all barangay kagawad, secretary, treasurer, and BRK. Ang mababa lang is di punong barangay. Pero, kung tugot kita, magiging 10 manggiraray po sa inda. Thank you, Madam.
Thank you, Honorable Baldemoro. Honorable Miles Aquinderoyo.
Kung if I remember it right, ang sabi ni ang kansatuyang mayor, dahil man kita pwedeng magtaong hazard pay, duman sa bako taman empleyado, bako man organic sa city. So kung ma-appropriation ordinance kita as hazard pay, giving it to barangay officials and volunteers, we cannot do that. So, dapat pagluwas sa tuya, kang kwarta, bako siya dapat hazard pay. Pagluwas sa tuya, sabi ta nga ni kanto, financial assistance na siyang itatao. Diba? Kaya nagtita kung tao honorarium ang ano dyan, ang nakalaag na term. Kasi kung hazard pay, dapat organic sinda sa city. Either job order sa sinda, empleyado sa sinda, or whatever. Kasi kita ang matao as hazard pay. I think that was clear in the discussion of the city mayor, if I got it correctly. So, baka pwedeng, can we discuss the matter further? Tangarig ang ipapasar kasi tama na talaga.
Tama talaga.
Thank you, Madam.
Okay, Honorable Del Castillo.
I think we should focus our attention on 3.0, the coverage of that circular. Because only those enumerated in the circular are entitled to be given that hazard pay. And apparently, pag-abot niya sa 3.4, employees in LGUs, meaning local government unit, remember that barangay is a separate local government unit. So, based on that circular, na kita pwede magtao sa ENDA. That's the reason why I want to see the text of that circular, Madam Chair. Dahil ang controlling dyan, yan coverage. Isa yan covered kan circular na ini. Isa yan pwedeng tawan under this circular. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Del Castillo. Miranda. The circular does not cover the barangay. Ay, iyo. Sa katahali sa Liga Fund. Di ba ano manggiraray, city manggiraray. Ano pang ibang term na pwedeng gamiton kung dahil ang ano? Honorable Elmer?
Madam Chair, pwede to sigurong i-invite or city accountant. Siya ang nagpapaliwanag kay Kasubago. Sinasabi niya, the barangay official is still allowed to reserve hazard pay from the city. So siya na po mismo nagsabi kaya.
Okay, Jacel, pwedeng pakiapod ang city accountant? Pero there was an instance na sinasabi na ang barangay officials is included in the LGU employees. I don't know ko lang. Ay, may pagkakan. Malunch. Jollibee. Ayaw na ang Jollibee. Sige. Okay, break.
Madam Chair, before we break, we greet Tin Apin a very happy birthday.
Birthday to you. Happy. Ikaw ng pa-ice cream. May pa-ice cream. Iyo nga ni, may pa-ice cream yan si Tin. Session resume. Ito nang kay Honorable Trifulca.
Accountant is around, maybe we can ask for enlightenment with regard to the DBM circular. Thank you, Madam Chair.
May we request the city accountant to shed light as to the memorandum circular? DBM? Uy, baga? DBM ba daw? The hazard, with regards to the hazard pay. Pakipost na tabi, birthday girl. Birthday girl. Ay, pag-OFW sa inyong quarantine. Tolit. Pag-OFW sa inyong quarantine. Bako self-quarantine. Duman saan ka? Oh. May naghahapotulos. Okay, Mrs. Ching Tabinas, as to with regards, Kylie, itong question kay
Question po from Councilor Bade Del Castillo po, whether or not we are included in the DBM Circular 2020-01 in the coverage po specifically. Because I think he finds none pertaining to barangay or SK officials po.
Ma'am Ching,
Arin circular 2020 this one. Good afternoon po. Ini po kayang kasubago po nag-urulay-ulay kami tungkol digdi sa ordinance 2020-35 granting additional honoraria to 10,000 pesos each for punong barangay and 5,000 pesos each for kagawad, secretary, treasurer, and record keeper. Ito pong sarong ordinance regarding the volunteers granting additional honoraria. Okay po ito dahil we are really giving honoraria to our volunteers. Dati-dati ta po yan napigtatao sa mga barangay volunteers in the form of additional or counterpart. So, igo po kitang principal na igo sindang honoraria sa barangay and then we are giving additional counterpart na para sa mga sa mga volunteers. Pero po ini yung sa mga barangay officials, if we mean honoraria, sa ano po kaya sa barangay, this honoraria to our officials are given in lieu of their salaries. And igo po kita ning limit in granting salaries or honoraria to the barangays. Kaya kung sakali pong tatawanan tapas siya nin additional honoraria, it may be in the form of double compensation po dahil ini yung honoraria is in lieu of salaries. And we have a limit in granting salaries or honoraria to the barangay officials. Say for example, punong barangay, igwalan po kita ng grade 14 and duman po sa mga kagawad, grade 10. Sa mga secretary, treasurer. Yan po ang limita in granting salaries or honoraria in lieu of salary. Kaya napaghiling mi man po digdi na sailing mi bako pong dapat na bako pong honoraria ang term. Siguro iba pong klaseng assistance sa mga barangay.
Honorable Del Castillo.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So, in other words, Ordinance 2020-035 cannot be implemented based on the wordings of the ordinance.
Iyo po, dahil po sa term na honoraria.
Okay.
Considering na mayo po kita ng principal na dating tinatao sa INDA, and then igwa po kitang limit in granting honoraria to barangay officials.
Okay. So, I presume that includes SK officials. Am I correct in my assumption that not only barangay officials, elected barangay officials rather, but including SK officials?
Iyo po.
Okay. But the other, the barangay volunteers, tanod, BSW, etc., we can give additional honoraria.
Iyo po, okay po ito.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just to clarify things.
So, Honorable Abonan.
Ang ordinansa naggamit ng terminong honoraria. Ma-check lang po kita. Nag-process na po ba kayo ng payroll for as indicated by this ordinance?
Dahil pa po, sir. Dahil nag-i-inquire man po nga niyan mga barangay regarding the preparation in relation to this ordinance.
Dahil pwede yung term na honoraria, po kamo pa nag-gibo ng payroll para sa kanila.
Ang barangay po siguro ang mag-ibo kang payroll and then isusubmit ninda sa accounting for process.
Si barangay po, baka nag-gibo na, pero pa man nasubmit sa inyo.
Dahil pa po, sir.
Salamat.
Kaya nag-i-inquire po sinda regarding the submission and the processing of the payroll in connection with this ordinance.
Pero nito sabi ka sa bago ni Frank na may mga nag-prepare na?
So, kasubago po suggest po kami na ano daw, pero definitely po it will be an assistance to the barangay. But what kind of assistance? Pwede pong maging hazard, ini po bagang COVID hazard. Although it is an assistance, but assistance for hazard, for COVID hazard. Na iyan po baga ma-mandate man po digdi sa proclamation number 26 regarding the grant of hazard pay to those employees in LGUs, including in the barangays who physically report for work during the quarantine period. So, igdi po baga, sasuggest po digdi na pwedeng magtao digdi ang local government unit. Ini po, suggestion po. Pero igwa man po kita ning proclamation number 929 na nagsasabi man po na under Section 3 of Proclamation number 929 Series of 2020, all provinces, cities, municipalities, and barangays are strongly advised to provide funds for the implementation of the program, project, and activities to contain the COVID-19 and to provide basic services to the affected population, including the necessary support to frontline workers. Considering po siguro na frontline workers, ining sa tuyang mga barangay officials, including the personnel, siguro po pwede man mag-apply ini yung proclamation number 929 with the local budget circular, igwa po ning budget circular na 124. Policy guideline on the provision of funds by local government units for programs, projects, and activities to address the COVID situation. So, kung pwedeng, kung dakulong po ang kaipuhan duman sa COVID hazard, pwede po siguro digdi sa Proclamation 929 in the form of assistance necessary to support the frontline workers. Pwede po nga siguro dahil igwa po talaga sinda services rendered man, pwede po siguro na tawanan man talaga sindang remuneration in the form of rewards. Siguro po pwede man rewards dahil duman sa indang sa indang services rendered as frontline workers. Pero nasa sa indo po yan. Pero definitely po itong honorarium,
Dahil po pwede.
dahil po talaga to pwede dahil may mga limitasyon po kita duman.
Okay.
Sir.
Honorable Abunal and then Honorable Tripulca.
Considering po na magibo po kitang ordinansa, it is a financial assistance po. But what kind of assistance, hindi na lang po kita mahiling kung anong klaseng assistance. Pwede pong reward. Ayo po, dahil po assistance, considering po iwan mo po kitang basis, digdi po sa Proclamation 929 and ini pong COVID, ining Proclamation 26. Kung igdi naman po sa hazard, igwa man po yan mga limitasyon na hanggang 500 pesos, not to exceed 500 pesos per day sa actual services rendered.
Okay, Honorable Tripulca.
Fit po of Councilor Del Castillo kasi lumabas po siya. Yung sa hazard pay po, yung other alternative, kung hindi po pwede yung honoraria, dun sa Proclamation 26 po, you've made mention specifically giving to barangay and officials po. Pwede pong ma-reiterate yun, ma'am. Yung sa reiterate po, yung may specifically nakalagay na for barangay officials.
Igdi po sa Proclamation 929, nakalaag po digdi na ang mga barangay are strongly advised to provide funds, including the necessary support to frontline workers. Ini po. Pero dahil man nagsasabi na anong klase? Dahil man nagsasabi kung anong klase. Ini po, budget circular na po ini.
Okay. Honorable Del Castillo.
City accountant is referring to Administrative Order 929 and a certain budget circular. Can we have a copy of that circular and that administrative order so that we can look at it and because we cannot just read a portion of that. We should read the entire administrative order in the local budget circular so that we can appreciate what's really the intent of those circular in relation to what we are tackling right now, Madam Chair. Mas maray siguro mahiling ta. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Del Castillo. Honorable Marcy Arroyo.
The last session, we agreed that the term that we will be using for that ordinance granting this so much assistance was to be consulted with the city accountant because kung anong gamiton ta dyan, tapos dahil naman mapasa sa iya, para dahil na mangyari sa nangyari ka ito. So, si paggamit ng honorarium na term, it was not consulted with you. Kasi there was instruction pwede sanggunian. So, ang sinasabi tango niyan, Madam Chair, instead na honorarium, ang gamiton ay financial assistance. So, an ordinance extending financial assistance, so and so, for the barangays, in order that they may be able to provide the necessary support to their frontliners.
Service.
Kasi iyan ang sinasabi ka itong admin circular. So, why can't we just do that now? Para, anyway, klaro naman sa tuya. Diba? So, instead na itong term na honorarium, financial assistance to the barangays, so that they may be able to provide the necessary services to their frontliners. With the intention na contained duman sa satuyang ordinance. Thank you, Madam.
Thank you, Honorable Marcy Arroyo. Honorable Kylie.
So that po, if you will change the term honoraria to financial assistance po, then we will no longer be using the COVID-19 hazard pay. So there will be no need for us to change the amount to a uniform, to be uniform po. So we will retain our amount po. Earlier, we will just amend the title, the term po.
Okay. Thank you, Honorable Kylie. So the amount is still the same except for the term honorarium. Honoraria. Okay, Honorable Valdemoro.
Chair, para klaro lang kita paghali ni Mrs. Tabinas. The term will be financial assistance. Pero through payroll man po giraray.
Iyo po, iyo po.
So, bako po siyang fund transfer.
Bako na po sigurong dahil financial assistance
Yes po.
po.
So,
Considering kung fund transfer po kaya, not all of the barangays will be qualified for the transfer considering may mga outstanding cash advances.
Po. Gusto ta lang po maklaro na ang babagon lang na term is instead of additional honoraria will be financial assistance.
Financial assistance po siguro for services rendered. Kung ano po, either it is a reward or recompense.
Incentive.
The services rendered.
Sige po.
Being frontline workers.
Okay. And another, Madam Chair, since financial assistance, no need na for the uniformity of the amount. So, pwede ng 10 sa punong barangay, 5 sa barangay kagawad. And the SK, 5,000 sa SK chairman, 3,000 for the SK kagawad.
Pwede po. Pero in the process po kang payroll, kaipuan tamang po ang itong either certification na nag-render nin service. Opo.
May, Madam Chair, i-inform ta lang po si City Accountant na kabali po sa requirements is the sangguniang barangay resolution certifying the following personnel rendered actual service.
Opo.
Kaya para po klaro dahil may mga barangay po na paghuna tano da binali si EduCare ang EduCare dahil man sa inda nagtatrabaho. Ang sabi ko po, si nagtatrabaho man lang na EduCare, siring man kang tanod, dahil ito automatic. So there is a qualification na maski na mention duman si personnel sa tatawan, kung dahil man siya nag-actual service, dahil man siya makakabali duman sa payroll. May attach po dapat na sangguni ang barangay resolution stating the following personnel na nag-actual ning service.
Iyo po.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Valdemoro. Honorable Marcy Arroyo.
You discussed with us
Honorable Baltimore.
Madam Chair, the SAC is the incentive or grant by the national government. So kung naka-avail man po itong mga personnel ng SAC, arap taman po na grabe man sipig trabaho ninda and nangangai po man sinda, data na po sinda halion duman sa additional honoraria. Kung naka-receive man sinda, whether kung naka-receive or dae, the same man po giraray itong itataota. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Baltimore. Honorable Marisa Quedaroyo.
Yes, the point is sinda, bako man sa haliun sinda. No? Ang sinasabi ta is, ang matauan si dapat talagang matauanan. Kaysa doble ang matatauanan for unequal efforts that were extended. That's the point of the mayor. So mayo kita digdig sinasabing haliuntan na dahil natauanan na sinda. Ang sinasabi ta, paano ta marireward? Mas marireward itong mas nagtrabahong dakol. Given the resource that we're allocating, that we have allocated both from the national and the local. So, ang sinasabi ko, Madam Chair, how do we respond to that concern raised by the mayor? So, kasi pwedeng ang sabihin ta is, itauta sa barangay ang pagdesisyon ka iyan, and therefore, ang ililista kang barangay ay itong mga sailing ninda, mas kinaka-receive na ni sa SAC, ay dapat pag-iraray, maka-receive. Kumbaga, itauta sa barangay ang pag-desisyon ka iyan. Kasi dapat gabus ko ta ng point na na meritorious points, dapat may simbag kita dyan, tangarig pagpighapot po kita, may simbag kita. So, ang sinasabi ta, dahil tayo nagigibuo na policy na pag naka-receive na from SAC, dahil na makaka-receive digdi, we will not make that as a policy in response to what the mayor said. But we are giving the barangays the discretion to determine na ang ilalaag talaga ninda sa lista, ito talagang nagtrarabaho, and that therefore, mas kinaka-receive na sinda sa SAC, they would still be deserving to receive from here. So that's my recommendation, Madam Chair, that we put that in the ordinance. That particular concern. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, sir. The motion was seconded by Honorable Del Rosario. That will be included in the amended ordinance. Honorable Baltimore.
I am objecting, Madam Chair.
You're objecting.
Ang may proposition, yes is lang. Kung we will add an incentive, di dagdagan na lang incentive. Pero data na lang ganyan ng qualification.
Yeah, because the staff is from the national
Yes.
fund. In appreciation
Whether
naman,
naka-receive sinda or
in
dae,
appreciation naman from the local government, you're saying na tan manggiraray sinda. That's
iyo
from the
po,
local
that's my
government.
position, Madam Chair. So I am objecting to the proposition.
Okay, Honorable Marisa Quedaroyo, as to the objection.
Nagtatao kitang guidance sa barangay.
So pwede tan pa man.
Yes, pero linalagda sa sato, maybe it's in the whereas clauses or in the explanatory note. It's not a qualification. Tinatawanan tang guidance ang barangay. Na there is this concern, siguro sa explanation, pakarayon na lang, no? And therefore, the barangays are given the sound judgment. Okay? Sound judgment is lodged upon the barangays.
Dahil daw maikaagman,
Okay.
Dahil
Yes.
daw maikaagman sa alangano ng barangay captain, ta siya ang ma-certify.
Dahil,
sa
ang
mga
sinasabi
kapwa
ta,
niya
Madam
taga-
Chair, no, ang sinasabi ta, yes, masabi lang sindang totoo, gustong sabihon, we are trusting them na isasubmit ninda sa tuya, na maski igwad dyan mga nakarireceive na, ang isasubmit nindang listang iyan, ang lista kadtong dapat talagang makareceive, maski nga ni nakareceive na. That's what we're saying. Kasi i-defend din yan ninda, Madam Chair. Diba? Kasi sabihin, tano ta nakareceive na nga ni, tapos nakareceive pag-iraray. So, i-defend ninda yan. So, gustong sabihin, we are guiding the barangays in making their decision. Dahil kita nag-exempt or nagka-qualify.
Actual services rendered.
It's our duty to guide them. No? Mayo kita diling hinahali. So, sa ang pagkaintindi ni Councilor Baldemoro, pagka-clarify ta lang, that it's for the guidance of the barangay. Kung sailing kang barangay, dahil dapat maski ni nagtrabaho, dahil man ni dapat makareceive, itong extent ng contribution that should be rewarded, nasa sa inda yan. Kasi paano, Madam Chair, kung may magpunta, halimbawa, may mag-question sa tuya, ako ba ngayon nag-volunteer man, nagtrabaho man, pero mayo nga ako sa listahan. So, ang sinasabi ta is, barangay po ang nag-decide kayan, kasi sinda ang nakakaaram kung ano si trabahong trinabaho nindo when you volunteered.
Madam
So,
Chair.
that's all. That's what we're saying, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Arroyo. Ma'am Ching, may
And
gusto kang
I really
sabihin?
would request, Madam Chair, na mahiling ta po si final form kong ordinance bago tayo
I'm
ipasa.
instructing the
Thank
City
you, Madam.
Secretary to
Okay man po
before
to,
you
Madam
finalize,
Chair.
kindly let the other members see the draft ordinance. Okay?
Okay man po to, Madam Chair, itong pig-raise ni Kagawad Miles. Considering na ang barangay po, sinda talaga sa masubmit kang payroll. So, nasa sa inda na po if they will be making proportionate. Siguro po, ini pinaka-maximum lang. Sabihin mo, 10,000 sa punong barangay, 5,000, then 3,000. Depende po sa inda. Minsan kaya pagka may mga tinatao po kitang honoraria, sinda na po mismo ang nagbabawas. Proportionately, sabihin mo 3,000. Minsan, ang naabot po kayang kulang dahil may mga columns na po sindang ginibo na ini nga absent, ini nga arog lang kani. Pwede man po siguro. Ini yung sa tuya po sigurong tinatao sa inda is just the maximum per level kung anong klaseng official or ano siya, employee kang barangay.
Okay, thank you, Ma'am Ching. Honorable Valdemoro.
Madam Chair, naiintindihan ko po si proposition ni Councilor Arroyo. Dahil isa lang ang pakaintindi ko. Kaya lang, ibabalik naman sa discretion kang barangay. May requirements na po ba kita? Itong sangguniang barangay resolution na i-state si mga personnel na nagtrabaho. Kung lalagano pa siya, option duman, na sinaka-receive na ning SAC, pwedeng dahil na duman ibali, may option ang barangay. Iyo po ito ang habo kong ilaag na option.
Pero bako, oo.
Ano po pala?
Dahil man itong namiling naka-receive ning SAP.
Kung bako po ito, ano si proposition?
Okay, ang explanation is, miski nakabali siya, naka-receive siya ning staff, tapos nag-render pa siya ning services na commensurate duman sa ano, ibabali
Di parehas man lang, Madam Chair.
Pero kung halimbawang daiman siya nag-render, ipapiya talaga.
Dahil po, si Day nag-render pong service, dahil siya ibabali.
Kakawad, kaya na nagte-text man sa kuya na may mga ibang kakawad talaga daan na dahil man
Kaya nga ni po, dumanin ma-appear sa sangguniang resolution na da ito kabali.
kaya duman na ma-appear.
Okay nga ni po, no need na for another qualification. Dahil ang sinasabi ta duman, ang tatawan lang, si Gabos na nagtrabaho. So, pag nag-submit pong list, iyon na ito.
Regardless kung nag-receive siya.
Na itong, kung naka-receive pa siya ng SAC or kung ano pa. Iyon po ito ang ino-object ko.
Pero, so nakaintindihan na. Na regardless, na miski naka-receive na siya ng SAC, pero nag-render talaga siya ng service sa barangay as certified by the barangay captain, makaka-receive man kirara siya. So, yun si final motion. Ang draft, ang ordinance po, bago ta permahan, we will approve the ordinance, pero bago permahan, papahiling mo na sa sendo. So, do you still have an objection na Honorable Valdemoro? Ayun na, naintindihan na. So, the motion is seconded by Honorable Del Rosario. Approved.
Okay po.
Change of, financial assistance.
Opo.
Okay, thank you. Next
Okay po.
item.
Permit to live po.
Thank you, Ma'am Ching. Honorable. Ayun, papahiling ni
I-routing para makakomment naman.
papahiling ni
Ang magayon na po atis nakaintindihan na okay na.
Bago ta
Okay.
permahan,
Thank you.
bago ta gibuhon ng official. Best is already approved. Next item. I-forward sa mga kunsya. Okay, next item.
The resolution from Barangay Balatas.
Oh, noted. Next item,
Nominal vote.
Honorable Valdemoro.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, may I move that all the approved resolution and ordinance be transferred to nominal voting and approve the same.
Okay, approved. Next
Motion to
item.
adjourn, Madam Chair.
Session is adjourned. Adjourned.